Welcome to Yokota Air Force Base, Japan. This is Bob Long here with Rob Regal. We're going to be televising Kinnick Red Devil football. This is the first game of the season. Welcome, Rob.
Welcome, Bob. Thank you for the introduction there. We're going to have an exciting game here. This may be the first test of what is going to amount to the Kanto Plain Championship here, Bob. Listening to Dave Ornauer during the Greyhawks football season, he had picked Yokota to unthrone Kinnick High School. He's kind of pulled back from that. He's predicting Kinnick to win here at Yokota, but going to face a stiff test against the Yokota Raiders at home today, or excuse me, the Yokota Panthers. Looking at their semi-pro version there, but the Panthers are a bigger team than Kinnick is, but again, the speed of Kinnick last year was the determining factor in their Kanto Plain Championship, and we look to see that again this year. One thing we're going to look at is the quarterback situation, which is going to pit Daniel Ayers is the quarterback today. That's a new situation for Kinnick this year, and the ball's kicked off, and it's down to the 35-yard line, to the 32 where it's picked up by number 88 of Yokota, who falls out of bounds. That's Dwan Washington. And the Yokota Panthers will take over 1st and 10 at approximately the 34-yard line.
You know, Rob, one thing that I noticed is that Kinnick was small last year, but they're smaller this year.
Yeah, they're a smaller team this year. We don't know what to expect as far as the speed, but one big difference is going to be the fact that we do not have at quarterback this year Dominic Crawley, who has been replaced.
Well, Dominic's going to be leaving shortly.
Right.
And another thing that we got to watch out for is that we only have about 16 players on the team.
Right.
A lot of people, I guess, quit or whatever, but we're down to very few players, so that's going to make these guys work all that much harder. We got a flag on the play.
Okay, first play from scrimmage this year results in a flag, and that's going to be 5 yards against the Yokota Panthers as they're backed up for false start. And we're going to see a lot of that, I think, today, Bob, with the first game jitters going on. It's going to be, a real trial period for both these teams as this is their first game of the year.
I want to remind everyone we're here at Yokota Air Force Base, Japan. We're up on the roof of the high school without our fiddles, by the way, right?
Yeah, we don't have our fiddles with us.
So we're up here, and actually we're on a soccer field. This is not their regular football field, which is under construction, not for a football field, but for a junior high school, I believe they're going to be putting over there.
That's going to be another penalty there. Not sure what that is, but looks like maybe a possible delay of game. But it came from the line judge on the far side of the field who threw the flag before the Panthers had a chance to get a play off from scrimmage. So it's going to back them up another 5 yards, and they're going to be facing a 1st and 20 from approximately the 30 or 24-yard line now, and just a series of disasters on the first play from scrimmage that is yet to get underway, and we have 2 penalties.
But we're moving closer to their goal, which is important.
Absolutely.
So Kinnick is definitely making progress.
Absolutely. Okay, for quarterback today for the Yokota Panthers is going to be Alan Shabayo. It's number 12 on your screen. He hands off in the backfield, and that's a nice tackle there made by number 44 of the Kinnick Red Devils, Rextini Andre.
Andre, yeah.
And he came up there and met him good stiff tackle, and that's going to be a minimal gain, probably a gain of about 2 yards on that play. And there again, we're already seeing signs of what made Kinnick Kanto Plain champions last year, and that's speed. One of the things they're able to do is get to the outside and wrap up the ball carrier in quick fashion. One of the quickest teams in the Kanto Plain.
Well, another thing you were probably alluding to also is the defense overall. Because they were very good about limiting touchdowns. I think they only had a couple of touchdowns against them.
2nd and 9. And Yokota swings out to the far side, and there's a huge tackle made by number 20, Daniel Ayers, playing both sides of the ball today. And Daniel came up and met him for a loss. And there again, the speed of Kinnick is coming into valuable consideration. We have a helicopter flying by there. Sorry for the folks at home that may be watching the background noise, but a nice defensive effort by Daniel Ayers, who just came up and put the Kinnick running back on the ground. So number 12 for the Panthers is going to have Alan Chabeo is going to have his work cut out for him as he's facing a 3rd down and approximately 25.
Hey,
so he needs a quarter of the field for first down.
You think that helicopter was checking us out? It is still ThreatCon Alpha.
Yeah, it's ThreatCon Alpha. He's probably wondering what we're doing up here, making sure we don't have rifles. Okay, number 12 drops back, looking deep downfield.
Look
going
at
to swing
Daniel
out to the
Ayers
right-hand
again.
side. And Daniel Ayers, the linebacker for Kinnick, came across and met him, and there was nothing given up by the Kinnick Red Devils on that series, as they just moved Yokota back on every series there, and going to take over the ball here as Yokota's going to be forced to punt with a, looks like about a fourth down and a long way to go, probably 21 or 22 yards.
I didn't bring my sunscreen with me today, Rob. You got any?
I don't have any sunscreen, but I'm going to be a real high-risk skin cancer patient here because it is a nice, beautiful day out here. Weather is not a consideration at all today for the Kinnick Red Devils as they face the Yokota Panthers. And the field is in good condition. One of the things we have here, maybe the fans at home are noticing, is there is a temporary field put up here as their Yokota's old football field has been torn up, and they're doing some construction work in that area, and we're not sure exactly what's going on over there, but it gives us a chance to talk about some of the things coming up. One thing coming up tomorrow, which, you know, it'll be late for this broadcast, is Smooth Grooves. It's coming up.
Smoking Grooves.
They're expecting a huge crowd for that concert, which has Coolio, among others, and it's going to be a big concert there, and MWR bringing that to you.
You know, people don't realize all the behind-the-scenes work that goes with that. I mean, getting things set up and getting things organized. MWR is a big organization.
Yeah, it is, and one of the things that, you know, you and I both know because we sit in on these meetings, management meetings, is that, you know, there is a huge effort. It involves, you know, roughly, you know, 100 people, over 100 people, just to get one of those concerts set up and put in place. So
That's right.
It's quite the effort. Okay, back deep for the Kinnick Red Devils on the punt, and the punt is away. Daniel Ayers was the up back on that. Number 81 for the Kinnick Red Devils is Richard Ball. Richard Ball was ready to receive the ball, but it went out of bounds at roughly the 50-yard line, 49-yard line, let's call it, of the Panthers, and Kinnick's going to take over their first possession of the 1989-99 football season in great shape in Panther territory. And certainly a good effort by Kinnick on defense to put him here.
Well, I want to say one thing. I appreciate the Yokota school allowing us to come up here on this roof and to get at least the best footage that we possibly can for this this outing, this first day of football.
It's not too bad, actually. It's a pretty good spot. We may be obstructed by a couple of trees towards the end zones, but other than that, we should be in pretty good shape. Okay, first play from scrimmage of the year. Daniel Ayers under center. It's ready to take the snap. He's going to hand off to number 24, who's caught in the backfield. He's going to be tackled for a huge loss of about 8 yards. And on that carry was Gerald Soriano. And Soriano's a quick back. He's going to see the bulk of the carries probably this year for the Red Devils. But he was unable to come up with any yardage as the penetration from the Panther defense stopped him on the far side of the field.
He is quick, but, you know, if he has a hole, I'm sure they'll get to it. But the thing is, that's what is necessary, is opening up that hole. And we don't have a lot of big people.
Mm-hmm.
So that could be a problem. We'll see.
Okay, it's going to be about a second down, and let's call it 16 from the Red Devil 44-yard line. In motion goes number 22 for the Red Devils. It's a handoff to the far side. Daniel Ayers is a keeper, and he's brought down across the 50-yard line. Call it a gain of about 8 yards on the play, and Ayers just faked the handoff and went right up to the left-hand side of the field and got good yardage on that
I think he was contemplating a pitch back, right?
Yeah, it looked like it, but it looked like the defense broke up that option for him. But nonetheless, a good play, gain of 8 yards for Daniel Ayers on his first carry of the year. Bring up a third down situation for the Red Devils. Ayers looks to pass. He's dropping back. He's got a man open. And the ball is caught.
Goodness.
But unfortunately, Richard Ball caught that, but unfortunately fell down, slipped in the grass. And that's one of the things that we got to talk about, is the footing is a bit treacherous towards the center of the field, as Yokota had a huge amount of rain from Typhoon Rex last week. So it's a pretty soft field, especially towards the middle where the grass thins out. But nonetheless, a good pass and a completion. And it'll be interesting to see what we're going to do here. Looks like they're going to go for it as...
you know, that was Michael Calhoun, I think, number 25.
Yeah, Michael Calhoun. You're right. Thanks for
we want to give
correcting
credit where credit is due. Great catch, Michael. I mean, that did take good concentration.
They're going to go for it here and out to the out-hand side, and on fourth down, they're not going to get it. It just looked like the back was unable to get out quick enough, and on that carry is number 21 for the Kinnick Red Devils, Jeff Dutcher, and Jeff Dutcher was unable to just get the yardage he need.
You know, still, that was not such a bad plan right there, because they were close, and if they got that, that would have really gave some good momentum.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is interesting. It looks like, okay, yeah, they're changing now. Yokota's going to take over here as number 12 for Yokota gets back on the field, and that is Alan Shibeo. We apologize if we're not quick on the names here, is that it's the first game of the year, and we're trying to get the numbers arranged as quick as we can for you at home. So Shibeo under center. Yokota in the I formation. Hands up to the first back through. That's number 31 for the Yokota Panthers. He has a minimal gain, and that's Chris Cyrus. And he was stopped pretty much right after he got across the line of scrimmage by the Red Devils, and there were a lot of people participating on that tackle.
That's right. Good effort by the Red Devils. He might have picked up a yard, or probably not even a yard.
So we're going to look at about 2nd down and 9 here as the Red Devils get set here on defense. Okay, back in the I formation, hands to the deep back. It's a pitch back. He's got running room, but
nice
met immediately by number 44 of the Kinnick Red Devils.
And
that's
21.
Rextini Andrade, and Andrade put him on his back, and a nice tackle. And assisting on that was also Matt Engstrand,
right,
who kind of helped wrap him up. But really nice effort there by both of those players. So Kinnick defense dictating tempo thus far in the game, and Yokota not able to get anything of a running game going in the first 2 series thus far. Going to bring up a 3rd down and about 7 yards for the first down. Shibeo's under center. Yokota in the I formation to the first back through, and he's tackled immediately at the 45-yard line of the Yokota Panthers, and that's going to bring up a 4th down and 6 yards. We're probably going to see a punt here to try and pin the Kinnick Red Devils deep, but nonetheless, one thing we haven't seen here is the arm of Shibeo yet, as he has yet to attempt a pass, Bob.
Well, you know, that's always shaky on the first game, too. Especially, you know, there's butterflies, and you're not sure, and you know, playing against your own people defending you and playing against someone else is a whole different ballgame.
And I also probably think that the coach of Yokota is seeing a penetration by the Red Devil defense in the backfield on the run and wondering what that would be like with a nice kick is away.
Ooh.
And the ball is dropped and out to the left-hand side, which may have been fortunate for the Kinnick Red Devils. Out to the 42-yard line is number 81, Richard Ball, who did a great job of getting to the outside and was able to come up with a nice gain for the Kinnick Red Devils. And they're going to take over again in excellent field position at the 42-yard line.
You know, there was an extra little push right at the very end of that play that was probably unnecessary. Not too hard, but nevertheless.
Right. One of the things that we might tell the fans at home that are watching the game is that this is a huge historic rivalry. The 2 largest military installations on the Kanto Plains high schools playing each other. So you're going to see a little bit of extra pushing and shoving whenever you get these football teams together.
Right. I believe that. And
Daniel Ayers under center.
Little fumble there with the ball, but
yeah, a little shaky on the handoff there, but that's number 21 going through, and that's Matt Engstrand. And Engstrand's doing a good job carrying the ball as he picks up about 3 yards on the play.
Well, you know, Matt's a real good competitor. You know, he wrestles and stuff. He's a strong young man, and he really puts a lot of effort.
Oh, yeah, and he's, you know, full tilt. He's one of these people that's got just that, you know, really, you know, go 100% personality. So one of the things we want to talk about here is at center, you see him leaving the huddle early, is Jack Samar, son of the commanding officer of the Kitty Hawk, which we want to welcome to Yokosuka. This is our first broadcast with them as the Yokosuka forward deployed carrier. Flag on the play as the handoff goes up the middle to Engstrand, who gets up to about the 45-yard line before he's stopped. But let's let him unpile and see what we're going to come up with for this penalty. But so Jack Jr. is the center this year for the Kinnick Red Devils, a new addition to the team.
Well, just like anyone else, a proud father out there.
Absolutely.
I'm sure watching this game on C-Phase 7, a division of your MWR. Just one other way that MWR serves you, as well as at the Seahawk.
So we're looking at about a 2nd down and 6, but we got an offsides against Kinnick, which is declined. So someone must have lined up offsides is the only way you can get that with an offensive play being offsides. So Daniel Ayers is back under center. Kinnick is in a wishbone formation. And a nice help there. And number 22 coming back to the ball. Nice play, and he was interfered. He was pushed to the ground, and that's going to be a penalty that Kinnick will decline. But number 22 on the reception was Ray Pontemeyer. Pontemeyer came back to the ball, and that's what you need to do when your quarterback is just starting out and kind of unfamiliar with what's going on. It's good to come back and help him out, which Pontemeyer did. He looked around and saw that Ayers was going to be a little short on the pass. But nonetheless, Daniel Ayers 2 for 2 on the early season here and doing a good job.
Two good receivers, two guys, Michael Calhoun and Ray Pontemeyer. Those are guys, the guys that quit are guys that probably, when you come to playing the game and you're really hitting hard, these guys don't. These guys are always going. So, these are the guys you always rely on.
Well, that's going to be a 1st down for Kinnick nonetheless, and it's their first down of the year and the first down of the game as Kinnick Red Devils are on the march. And they ended up about the 35-yard line on that pass play. The ball just short of the 35-yard line of the Yokota Panthers, and it's going to be 1st and 10 in a wishbone formation. Daniel Ayers under center, and the backfield is hard to tell, but looks like 21 and 24, so that's going to be Engstrand and Soriano in the backfield. Engstrand gets the carry. He moves forward for about a yard where he's met by a host of Yokota Panthers.
Yeah, but did you see that fight that he gave him?
Second effort. Yeah, definitely. That's what we were talking about earlier, Bob. The guy just doesn't stop, and he's full tilt player, and he's real asset to the Kinnick Red Devils.
So again, we're here at Yokota Air Force Base, Japan. First ball game of the year. Kinnick Red Devils with the ball.
Again, in the wishbone formation is Kinnick. Got Engstrand and Soriano in the backfield. Ayers rolls out to the left-hand side. He's looking to keep the ball. He's going to reverse direction. Got some field to run on. He's met with a pretty hard tackle at the 30-yard line by Yokota Panthers. And on that tackle, on the initial hit, was number 42 of the Panthers, Curtis McGuire. And actually, Daniel gave him the better of the deal there as he was slow getting up.
But see, Daniel can't do that. If he's going to be playing it both ways, he's got to be careful. And I think here comes Crawley in the game right now. I think Crawley's number 8. Dominic Crawley.
Dominic Crawley is in the game and probably
because of that hit.
Yeah, probably because of that hit. And I'm sure the coaches are telling Daniel, hey, look, we got 9 more games after this. You can't be running out there taking those kind of licks. So we're going to see Dominic Crawley for the first time at quarterback, and Dominic brings a lot of speed to that position, and he's a pretty athletic player, played last year.
Nice
pass out to the left-hand side of the field to Mike Calhoun, who's down below the 20-yard line, and the passing game for the Red Devils is really moving now as Dominic Crawley hits on his first connection, and Kinnick has yet to miss a pass in this game. So a beautiful play, gets him down to about the 18-yard line, and coming in the game for the Red Devils is, reporting for his position is number 81 and number 40.
Jared
and we'll
Fritz.
try and get to these. Richard Ball and number 40 is Jared Fritz.
Yeah. Matt Engstrand, I think, kind of hit someone pretty hard because he was wincing a little bit after that play.
Okay, so Dominic is under quarterback in a offset formation there. Interesting formation that Kinnick's got there where they got the backs offset, and that's really just to help them run to the strong side of the ball. But we got a flag on that play. Illegal procedure. That's going to back them up 5 yards, and if you're going to do that, you want to do it on 1st down.
I guess if you got a choice, right?
Yeah, you got to get a few more chances to make up for it. But Kinnick rotating a lot of players today. It is a warm day for football, and the Kinnick Red Devils are going to get a bit winded today as they're wearing black uniforms, which, let's face it, aren't the coolest thing to begin with.
No, that's for sure. Well, we have a few fans over there across the field. Maybe we can get a spot on them during halftime or something. But they're always out here to support the Kinnick Fanatics.
Okay, Crawley under center here, offset formation again. The ball gets to Engstrom. Engstrom out to the left-hand side of the field, where he's met by a couple of Panthers, but not before he picks up 3 of the yards that were lost to the penalty, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and 12, roughly, for the Kinnick Red Devils. And we haven't seen Daniel Ayers come back in to replace Dominic yet.
Well, Dominic's doing fine.
Yeah, he's doing a good job. Just want to make sure that Daniel didn't get hurt on that play, but we'll try and see if we can get back to you on that as soon as we know something.
But, it's not so bad if you can kind of shuffle them in and out because, they can get their wind back and get a little strength back or whatever they need.
Okay, Kinnick needs to get to the 8-yard line for a first down. They're at the 20 of Yokota Panthers right now. Crawley looks to pass. He's dropping back deep. He's rolling out to the right-hand side. He's got a little running room out to the right-hand side, and he picks up a few yards there. Actually, a nice play by Dominic as he gets down to about the 13-yard line, going to bring up 3rd and 5, and on a busted play was able to come up with some good, really much-needed yardage here.
Yeah, but did you see what he was doing? He's rolling out right? And he had that arm cocked. And so, they couldn't let off their receiver.
Well, yeah, the linebackers had to stay honest on that. He was running, and like you said, he was ready to pull the trigger at any moment.
He can do it.
Yeah, he had a shot at Richard Ball for a moment, but then that closed up, and as the Panther defense has a lot less room to cover back there, they're going to be able to do a little bit more with pass protection.
So 3rd down here.
3rd down, big 3rd down for Kinnick here. 3rd down on roughly 5-yard line, 5 yards, and the pitch is out and wide open to the outside of the field, and for a touchdown is number 22.
I don't know. Did he get it?
He got in there for a touchdown.
Was that Engstrom?
That's Ray Ponemeyer. Ponemeyer gets in there for a touchdown and a beautiful pitch, and unfortunately we've got a Yokota player down on the field and wincing in pain, but congratulations to Kinnick on their first touchdown as Dominic Crawley comes in and was able to get Kinnick down the field, and with a beautiful pitch out to Ponemeyer to the left-hand side, picks up 13 yards and 6 points for a touchdown.
That was great. I thought it was Engstrom there for a minute, but, either one. Ponemeyer, Engstrom, they both do a great job.
We want to apologize to the fans at home. You're probably going to see a tree get in your way on that play.
Right,
but,
that's probably true.
There's not a whole lot we can do about that, as, again, we're kind of limited to our location to film this game. But just so the fans at home know, basically, Dominic Crawley had a little bit of running room out to the left-hand side, was able to pitch to Ponemeyer as he approached the line of scrimmage, and Ponemeyer had acres of running room to get in for the touchdown to the left-hand side. And there was one Panther that had a shot at him that missed, and it was just a beautiful effort there by Ponemeyer as Kinnick goes up 6-0 and going to try the extra point.
Yeah.
And in on the extra point attempt is Engstrom. And Matt's going to try and put it up for Kinnick. Unfortunately, can't see the number of the holder.
Oh, too low.
Too low. Got off the line of scrimmage there, but it's really soft in that part of the field to put the ball down, and it's going to be tough to get good footing to really secure yourself.
Daniel Ayers was holding that.
Daniel Ayers was holding, so we know now that Daniel isn't injured. Obviously, they wouldn't put him into hold if he was. So anyway, nonetheless, we've got a 6-0 lead here. First period of play at Yokota Air Force Base. This is Rob Riegel and Bob Long bringing you the action on C-Phase 7. And what do you think about that drive, Bob?
Kinnick is pretty poised, and I think they're not hurting either way, whether Daniel's in there or whether Dominique's in there. They do equally well, and as a matter of fact, maybe that could be a kind of a good little gimmick for Kinnick.
Yeah, it is interesting that, nothing was lost there, certainly, when Crawley came in. But one of the things that I was really impressed by, and you said it, was their poise, but that comes from being the 3-time defending Kanto Plain champion. I don't think there's going to be too much to rattle them. They've been through the big games. They've been able to come up victorious. So, even the first game of the season where maybe Yokota has a few jitters, we're not seeing anything on the part of Kinnick that would let us know that they're having any jitters.
Well, I'll tell you, there is a lot of new people on the team. I mean, maybe there's some carryover from there. But, they got 3 fine coaches over on that other sideline. And, they're very good with the young men. And I think they're good role models, and I think they teach them well.
Yeah, they do a good job, and certainly these kids, we get a chance to meet them throughout the year. We get to see them outside of athletics, and, one of the things that I can say about Kinnick kids is that they're typically really good people if they're involved in athletics. The ball's underway, deep kick,
nice kick
for the Yokota Panthers down to the 10-yard line, and Kinnick's coming down.
Good coverage.
And there's good coverage on that play as the number 21 or 31 for the Yokota Panthers, and that's Chris Cyrus, was unable to get much room to run there, and he's tackled about the 24-yard line. And they're going to start deep in their own end and try and move against the Kinnick defense that has thus far been very stubborn in giving up the yards. And they marked that ball at the 22-yard line.
See, on that last one right there, he moved to avoid Ponemeyer. And when he did, he kind of lost his footing.
Well, Ponemeyer did get his feet a little bit, too. He kind of tripped him up a little. But Ray, one of the quicker players on the team, was able to get down there and disrupt his run nonetheless. And so Yokota's going to line up again in the I formation. Shabeo's the quarterback, number 12. He hands off to the first back through, number 31. And that, again, is Chris Cyrus. He's unable to come up with much yards. He's able to get a gain of about 3 yards. If that, maybe about to the 24-yard line.
But actually, that was good effort on his part. His feet kept on moving, you know.
Yeah, the defense, though, awfully tough for Kinnick today, as they're not giving up much at all.
And they're still holding them in, in this part of the field. Mm-hmm. So it's going to make it really difficult. They have a long way to go in order to get a goal. Okay,
we see Daniel Ayers there in the linebacker position, so he's back in and he's healthy. In the backfield, in the secondary for Kinnick this year, we've got number 24, Gerald Soriano. And the end of the quarter, as the Devils have the lead 6-0, we're going to switch in. But in the backfield is Soriano and Ponemeyer in the defensive backfield and as quarterbacks. And right there's your speed at running back as well. So a lot of speed in the secondary for Kinnick. And then you've got Daniel Ayers as a linebacker. And, they've got kind of like the Florida Gators mentality, speed matters. So they're not very big, but they're quick.
Hey, well, I want to put a plug in here because next week, on the 11th, LL Cool J is going to be here with us. Another fine entertainment provided by your MWR. But, he was on the radio today. I was listening to the radio, and he was. They called him in Los Angeles, and he was talking about this is going to be his last live performance for a while. And as a matter of fact, you're not going to hear any albums for him because he has his own label, and I think he's going to promote that. And he's very excited about coming out here, and he said he's going to do a fine job out here in Tokyo, and we're going to be part of that. So everyone, I hope you're excited. Everyone is welcome to see LL Cool J on the 11th.
Okay, second down for the Panthers on the reverse, and they've caught that. That is not fooling anyone, and a huge loss on the play. As coming up for the tackle was number 17, Matt Steins, who stuck it right to number 22. Blake Harrigan of the Yokota Panthers, and Harrigan was just beat down to the turf, and that was a beautiful play by the Kinnick Red Devils as they came up with a huge loss for Yokota, bringing up a 3rd and 13. Yeah, LL Cool J, you know how excited people are on the base about that?
I hope so.
I hear
they should
endless conversation about it. They can't believe it that he's coming
commercial on CFA 7?
Yeah, I did. That was
Cool
good.
J?
That was
a good
job.
one. And you know who was working on that? My two favorite all-time editors. Brian Handsome was in there, and Skylar Hernstrom were there. And Skylar is out on vacation right now. I hope Skylar's having a great time.
Yeah, he's back in Pennsylvania, visiting family.
But Brian Handsome's up here on the camera today, and I always appreciate him coming out and helping us out for CFA 7, a division of your MWR.
Yeah, Brian's into it, too. He's doing a good job up here. I think Brian ought to go down, though, and get us drinks at halftime so us old men don't have to walk down
because we're giving him all these compliments. But he deserves them. Brian deserves them, even without the drinks, Brian.
But, yeah, LL Cool J, a big event for Yokosuka. People that I talked to are really surprised about MWR's effort to get him here. And this has been going on. The negotiations to get him here have been going on almost a year now. Almost a year ago, we talked to LL Cool J and approached him with the idea coming over here, and we're really excited to have him. And we're going to have some more concerts coming up. You just need to stay tuned to CFA 7 and look at the Seahawk, and you're going to see a lot of exciting MWR events coming up this fall. Okay, number 12, Shabeo drops back. He's going to try another pass, and he is throwing downfield.
Oh, good job.
Oh, broken up by Ponemeyer. Ponemeyer broke it up, and number 88 for Yokota had a shot at it, but Shabeo threw that ball up, and if Ponemeyer had been about a foot taller, he'd have had it.
He would have had it. And the thing is, that was perfect because the ball was right where they could both go for it.
And Yokota is going to really be in a tough situation here, as they're going to be punting deep from their own end. It's almost certain that Kinnick is going to be getting good field position, and thus far in the game, Yokota has failed to demonstrate that they can stop Kinnick.
They're going to blitz. They're going to blitz.
They're going to try and block it. They didn't get to it,
but they didn't get it, but they didn't need to.
They didn't need to, but
just get away from that ball.
Yeah, just need to stay away from it. That ball's touched by number 10 of the Yokota Panthers, Craig Teague, and Craig Teague downs the ball at the 31-yard line for Yokota, where Kinnick will take over from the Yokota Panther 31-yard line, and so they're already deep in Panther territory.
Excellent.
And this game is not looking good for Yokota right now.
Well, not at the moment. I mean, of course, Kinnick has to bring it, drive it in the end zone, but I mean, this is a great opportunity for them. And it's all set up by that defense. Yeah,
the defense has definitely been the key thus far in the game, as Kinnick has been able to really master the ground attack against Yokota and able to put some points on the board. And back at quarterback is Dominic Crawley. Dominic sets up, and we've got an offset formation and a wishbone. He hands off to number 24. That's Soriano. Soriano is hit hard at the 30-yard line for no gain by Yokota Panther. That was number 43 for Yokota Panthers, Chris Cielo, I'm probably saying that wrong, who made a good tackle on Soriano. Soriano looked to have some running room out to the right-hand side, but was unable to cut up the field to gain anything.
That was a very quick, no-gain play. He did get out there quick, but he was cut off very effectively and dropped for no gain. Snap. Dominic back, looking for an option.
Dominic's out to the left-hand side. His hand goes down, and he fumbles the ball. And it looks like the Yokota Panthers took over, but they may have called him in the grasp on that one, actually. He was tied up by his legs, and it looks like, they're going to give that back to Kinnick. He was already, the whistle had blown by the time that he lost the ball. But anyway, it's going to bring up a long third down situation. They're going to call a timeout on the play.
Now, with this timeout, if you want to finish something up there, but I want to say something else about MWR. Is there something that you wanted to say before I get into this?
No, go ahead.
Well, one thing I want to stress is that just recently we had an enormous effort put forth by our personnel department, and that is towards customer service. Now, this is something that is always going on with MWR. This is something that our boss, Superintendent, always emphasizes. I'm serious, always emphasizes, and she's completely committed to this. Now, the reason I say is because I sat in on one of the trainings, and it was a fine job, and it was very specific, and there's no doubt at what type of service that is expected. That doesn't mean you always get it. But what I'm saying to the people out there is, if you're not getting exactly what you need, just bring it to the manager's attention, or if someone you feel is disrespectful. Of course, I hope you do it in a good manner, if you're not too angry, but do it appropriately, and that's important information for the manager if you're not getting customer service, because our boss wants it, our boss demands it. And stepping back from that again, that's another thing that our commanding officer is also very concerned about, because he, being the mayor of our city, wants people to be happy over here, and morale is a very important factor for our overseas community.
Well, I agree with you. I also had the opportunity with you to go through customer service training, and I was probably the most in need of it. But, we want you to be satisfied with the product we're delivering at MWR. And if you have anything that you can do, and then we get another timeout, so that's 2 consecutive timeouts. And some confusion by Dominic Crawley as he looked at the Yokota defense and was uncertain about what to do, so he did the smart thing. As this is a big play for Kinnick, if they're able to get this first down, it's really going to put the momentum strongly in their favor. Customer service, Bob, I got to tell you, it's one thing I stress to my employees. We get a lot of customers that come in to place classified ads and, want to, get photos made and stories put in a paper. And I stress to my staff,
Well, one thing I want to comment on?
Make sure they're happy.
People are watching CPA 7 right now, right? And we had some difficulty with the schedules, and sometimes it worked out to be maybe a CPA 7 problem or a Seahawk problem. I want to apologize to you on the air, and say that we did get together. We kind of put our heads together, and we're pretty sure that we can get it straight now.
Right. I think that this week's TV guide is accurate. Now, we always do face the problem of changing schedules from the United States. The movie schedule is the only thing we really do have control of here, and I, along with Bob, want to give my apologies to anyone that's listening, and that it hasn't seemingly been right the last couple of weeks, but we think we've got it worked out. We've got a plan of attack and a nice pass and catch.
Look at that.
But unfortunately, the ball was fumbled, and that was number 25 on the reception, and Michael Calhoun. He was hit and lost the ball, and the Panthers are going to take over from the 30-yard line. But
you know what?
It really didn't make much difference because he didn't have the first down, and he would have been bringing up a fourth down and a punt. But Yokota's going to take over at the 30-yard line.
But you know what? That was a great effort. That was a great effort.
Yeah, he got up there and got the ball, which looked to be over his head, but it was a nicely designed play. Didn't look like Crawley had enough time to really throw it where he wanted to, but nonetheless, Kinnick's back on defense. Shibeo, the quarterback for Yokota Panthers, they're again in the I formation. He hands to the second back through, the deep back, who's tackled immediately for a loss, and that's number 32 for the Yokota Panthers, Dennis Brown. And Dennis Brown was dropped for about a 3-yard loss, and the running game for Yokota just isn't existing right now.
Engstrom was in there, and Anthony Elmore also was in there. I think there was one other player. I didn't catch the number, but great job by those two gentlemen.
Yeah, one thing we don't see right now is Daniel Ayers. His father's going to let us know what the situation is, as he's going to go check on him. He's up here filming the game along with us. And so we'll see what's going on there. Daniel looks to be on the sideline there. I don't see him. So, yeah, he's sitting on the bench and he's being looked at.
Well, that's probably a cautious thing to do. We got the lead right now at 6 points, and
Shibeo drops back. He's looking deep down the field, and that ball is almost intercepted, but a nice completion to number 14 for a minimal gain, a gain of about 4 yards on the play, maybe 5, but almost picked off by number 17 of the Kinnick Red Devils. Matt Steins was in there and almost came up with that ball. Calhoun was in on the tackle there, and Shibeo completes his first pass of the game. So Yokota able to come up with a nice gain there of about 8 yards, as they were 3 yards deep in, from a loss on the previous play. Going to bring up a 3rd down and 5 for Yokota. Shibeo pitches to the deep back. That's number 32 again, who's looked at, and he's brought down short of the first down at the 26-yard line. And that looked like number 26 in on that tackle, Ariel Zamora. And Zamora just got his shirt and pulled him to the ground.
Nice job by Zamora. And right before that, again, I keep bringing up Ray Ponemeyer's name, but he almost grabbed his leg.
Right. He was in the back, caught in the backfield, managed to elude Ponemeyer, but and we have a sumo wrestling star, Akibono, is in the crowd today. So Akibono being a big fan of football, and you know, he's an American, and that punt is almost blocked. That kick gets away, and it's actually the best kick Yokota had, as it takes a great Yokota bounce down to about the 27-yard line. But it's Akibono standing there drawing a little bit of a crowd to him, and he's just amazing when you stand next to the guy to see how large he really is.
Actually,
the TV doesn't do him justice.
He's a good basketball player.
Yeah, he is. When they came to last time to Kinnick, he got in a pickup game with some of the guys from
well, he comes down to visit us at least once a year.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Him and Musashi Maru, and Kanishiki used to, but Kanishiki just retired.
Yeah, and Kanishki's having a hard time getting around, too. He's not very mobile these days.
And he's probably not working out as much as he used to, so it's probably pretty difficult. But I like Kanishki. He's always one of my all-time favorites. As a matter of fact, I like Azumazeki, too. That's the old Takameyama. That's Jesse, that's Akibono's stable master.
Okay, Kinnick takes over from the 27-yard line, 1st and 10, deep in their own end. And we've got movement on the front line for Kinnick. Number 28 moved a little bit early, Anthony Elmore. Elmore went across the line of scrimmage, made contact with the Yokota player, and we're going to get 5-yard penalty on the play. So false start, 5-yard penalty for Kinnick Red Devils. They're going to have a 1st and 15 now from the 22-yard line. It's a really nice day out here today, Bob. I look around, I see a lot of people just kind of relaxing on the lawn here, see some sun umbrellas up, people with coolers, and this is what Americana is all about. If you can see a football game on Saturday, life's worth living. It's my favorite time of the year.
It is. And the thing is, look back just at the Greyhawks football. We were unfortunate we couldn't get Seahawks, but that was fun. A lot of people were there on Sundays.
Yep. Okay, so 1st and 15, as it looks like Dominic Crawley's going to take the snap. He hands off to Soriano, the left-hand side, who's got some running room, but held up by a couple of Panthers.
Right,
and that's going to be a penalty as a face mask, and Soriano is on the ground hurt, and that was evident from way up here. Now, he springs back up because Gerald's that kind of kid. He's not going to give him the satisfaction of thinking he's hurt.
I'm serious.
They could pull his nose off, and he'd get up. So, yeah, that was a good effort. He got out to the left-hand side of the field. Looked like he got some room, but this is going to go against Yokota. It's got to, as they face mask, and the official gives us that indication right now. And it's going to be the 15-yard penalty there. And, that's one of the things that you got to say, too, about the beginning of the year is the officials are also going through their first game of the year and so far doing a magnificent job.
Well, the crew around here is a pretty good crew. I think I kind of favor our own people back on in Yokota there, but...
Well, I do, too. In Yokosuka, you mean?
In Yokosuka. Did I say Yokota?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so Dominic Crawley hands off. That play's going to be blown dead for minimal gain there, as that was a first down effort by Kinnick, and that was Engstrand up the gut of the... or actually, that looked like Daniel Ayers carrying the ball there, 21.
No, 21 is Engstrand.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Engstrand.
As we get these names correct.
We're working it out here. Dominic Crawley in the backfield. Offset formation, Ponemeyer and Engstrand. 2nd down and about 9 yards. And that's a nice effort there as the pitch out to number 22, Ponemeyer. Ponemeyer gets a huge hit.
By number 43.
Almost a first down. It's going to be very, very close to a first down, but Ponemeyer with big yardage off to the right-hand side as the pitch from Dominic Crawley was right in stride. It couldn't have been better pitch, and it looked like Dominic could have picked up that yardage as well, as there was just a huge, huge amount of room on the right-hand side of the field. And that's a first down for Kinnick as they move the chains, and they're at the 49-yard line, their own 49. Going to bring up 1st and 10 from there. So it's interesting thus far that Kinnick is kind of dictating the tempo of the game, and, when we were doing the Greyhawks broadcast, we had the chance to talk to, I consider, the resident expert on sports in the Kanto Plain, Dave Ornauer, and he picked Yokota to win the Kanto Plain. Now, like I said, he's kind of pulled back from this, but looking at Kinnick, there's a lot of reason thus far in the game to say they might get their fourth
nice
one.
Job.
Beautiful handoff, nice blocking up front as Engstrand picks up about 6 yards on the play to the Yokota side of the field, the 45-yard line, and they're going to have a 2nd down and 4 yards for the first down. And a nice effort there, some great blocking.
Well, not only that, but he made a couple of good moves. I mean, they had him, but they didn't have him. And, he made that last 3 yards.
Yeah, Matt's a big kid, though. He's more of the fullback type player there, so it's going to take a little bit to bring him down. Okay, offset formation again. Got Soriano and Engstrand in the backfield. Dominic Crawley takes the snap. He's looking to throw. He's got time.
Yep.
And a beautiful catch made at the 20 or 35-yard line down to the 26-yard line of the Yokota Panthers. And that's number 25, Michael Calhoun, who comes up with a good pass. And he has to feel good about that because he lost the ball on his last reception. And it was good to see him go back to him because Michael got up there and made a good play.
Michael is a quality player. And he's going to give you a good effort out there. Matter of fact, a great effort. And that would have been the only ball he lost, isn't it? I mean, the one that got popped out of him.
Yeah, that's the only one. That's the only turnover of the game thus far. But it didn't really hurt Kinnick in that they gave it to Yokota at their own 30-yard line. And
look where they are, right above.
Yeah, they're right back at the, back at deep in Yokota territory here on a beautiful drive thus far. And Kinnick doing a great job here. Dominic Crawley takes the snap. He's looking to throw again. He's going to roll out to the right-hand side. It's a run all the way as he's got some room out to the right-hand side. And he's going to be brought down at about the 23-yard line, actually pushed out of bounds.
They got to learn to get out of bounds, I think, rather than take that hit.
Dominic, though, he's another one. We noticed from basketball. He just likes the contact. He's not afraid at all. And unfortunately, we're going to see Dominic leave in a couple of weeks as his family's PCSing. We've had the privilege for a couple of years of working with his mother, Dentile, and just a super, super great lady. And we're going to miss all of the Crawley family as
Todd
they're getting ready to
helped me out with
PCS.
announcing,
Yeah.
He did, so
Yeah.
thanks, Todd. Sorry to see you leave. And Dentile. Dentile always giving me a nice big smile when I go down there to check things out down her place in media.
Okay, Dominic's going to take Kinnick's last time out. Some confusion there as the running backs were unable to get a line the way Dominic wanted them. And it's going to bring up a fourth down play. Unfortunately, we're not able to give you the time left in the quarter because there's no scoreboard out here. There's no clock. There's nothing for us to really visualize.
So we got to remember all this stuff.
Yeah, we got to remember what the score is. But
hey, let's talk about something here, Rob.
Okay.
Hey, I want to mention that because of this ThreatCon thing, we had to cancel the Navy ball.
Right.
We had to cancel Friendship Day.
Oh, we didn't cancel the Navy ball, though.
You sure?
We canceled Friendship Day.
Canceled Friendship Day, but I think the
Navy ball is still in October, still
Are we okay?
tentatively scheduled, to go on. But yeah,
Okay, well,
Friendship
stay
Day.
tuned for that. Stay tuned for that
Yeah.
because I did hear something. That's just a heads up. But the Bonadori up in Nagishi was canceled. The captain was, very unhappy about having to do that because he really likes to open the bases up to the people.
Yeah, it's just an unfortunate set of circumstances where we're not able to, bring you some of the events that we'd like to. We definitely like to see the community come pouring through the gates on events like Friendship Day. I know I really enjoy it. But it's just the state of the world we live in, and we just want our viewing audience to try and be patient with us for a little while. We're going to do the best we can under the circumstances, but don't be surprised if things get canceled at the last moment.
Look at the blocks
Beautiful
there.
play. As Matt Engstrom gets a huge gain off to the right-hand side. He's not in.
Okay, we got a tree.
He's at the 5-yard line, past the 5-yard line, it looks like, and we've got a tree again in the way, unfortunately.
We were thinking about cutting them down, but, those tree saver groups were kind of around.
Yeah, we'd have some tree protesters out here, but...
Save a Tree Club.
A really nice run, a gain of about 20 yards on the play as Engstrom got off to the right-hand side with some great blocking and then went untouched through the secondary of Yokota, and basically a touchdown-saving tackle made at the 4-yard line, let's call it. And Kinnick's going to set up from there in the wishbone formation. Yokota's calling a timeout. They want to get set. They want to make sure everybody's on the same page. And they look like they're a little dispirited coming off the field. I think that they're surprised at the Kinnick attack thus far.
Well, Kinnick has been successful so far. They've been doing a great job. And, again, I guess it's got to be preparation. I mean, the guys that are sticking around, going through the plays day by day, day in and day out, you play like you practice, and they must be doing something good at practice. So my hat's off to them, not at the moment because the sun's out and I got very thin hair on top. So, I don't want to get a sunburn.
Well, I got thin hair at the top, too, and I don't have a hat like you. I don't have one of those cool Kinnick hats like you.
Do you?
I don't. No, I need to get one.
You know who gave me this? Matt, why did I forget his name?
Because you're old.
No, that's not why. What's Matt's last? Oh, Hayden, Matt Hayden. Why did I forget his name? Matt Hayden. He gave me this hat. I'm supposed to remember that because my daughter knew him pretty well, so I guess I used to hang around.
Well, Matt, if you're watching, give me a hat.
Well, Matt's down in Florida going to college.
Yeah, going to school now.
He's going to college down in Florida, so I hope he's doing a good job. He's a nice young man.
Okay, so Kinnick's going to get a chance here at we just imagine got to be just a few minutes left in the second period of play. Again, we don't have a clock. But Dominic Crawley, the quarterback under center, offset formation in the backfield, Engstrom and Soriano. Crawley takes it, hands off to Engstrom, and that's what they're going to do. They're just going to push it up the middle, and it's down to the probably 1 foot line is Engstrand, and Engstrand is probably going to get the ball again after this.
Probably
because
down to the 1 inch line or something.
They're right there. The nose of the ball is right at the goal line.
Maybe a foot.
And fortunately, we're going to be able to see this play, I think, because...
yeah, we're going to have to get a little closer, but we're going to be right in there, man. We're going to be right in on this play.
Absolutely. So, Crawley brings him to the line of scrimmage. And as Crawley brings him up in the single setback formation is Engstrand. He gets the handoff. He goes through for the touchdown. It looks like it was close.
It was really close.
They're saying that he got his knee down a little early.
They're moving it back.
They're moving it back for some reason. That doesn't look like a very good spot at all.
Well, I think they're spotting where his knee was rather than where he extended
right,
his
where
hands
his ball was. Yeah, that's what it looks like. But it's going to be another timeout for Yokota as they're going to take this opportunity
we get 2 more tries to get in. So no matter what, I mean, you know, Yokota's going to be in bad shape either way.
Yeah, it's not a good situation for Yokota here, and certainly knowing Kinnick football, they're not going for a field goal. They're going to go for a touchdown, and they got 2 more shots, as you said. And Engstrand had room. It looked like he lost his footing there. Like, again, I said earlier, it's soft towards the middle of the field. You can kind of see some of the darker spots as our cameraman, Brian Hanson, he is able to get out and see some of the darker areas. That is very, very soft in that area of the field. So Yokota, going to talk about a little bit, will give us an opportunity to say some more things about MWR. One of the things that we're really proud of is this LL Cool J concert that's coming up. Unfortunately, we weren't able to bring the Monsters of Rock tour in. That got canceled at the last moment.
Right.
So we're not going to be able to see that.
That would have been something.
Crawley goes up the center for the first touchdown of his...
touchdown.
That's a touchdown.
It's a touchdown.
And,
you know, that was a good maneuver.
Yeah, I think what it did is it threw him off because Engstrand was in the backfield, and, you know, I think everybody, including myself, thought he was going to get the carry, and Dominic on the quarterback sneak did the right thing.
What is this? Illegal procedure.
Oh, they're calling a flag on the play, so that touchdown is not going to stand, and to the chagrin of a lot of the Yokosuka fans that have come out here, that's not going to hold up, so take that 6 points off the board.
Now, what was that illegal procedure on? I mean...
Yeah, we can't really tell, you know.
Who else moved but the quarterback?
Right. I don't think... It may have been something about, like, the shift or formation as well. I don't know, but nothing we saw for sure. But, you know, that's why they play the game. And it's going to bring up now a 3rd and 6 from the Yokosuka...
Look at this. They're setting up strong
the
side
Yokosuka
right
Red Devils.
here.
Yeah, they got strong side right going here. Crawley's looking. He's going to throw the ball. And he gets the ball off.
It's there. It's there. It's caught.
It's caught, but I don't know if he got to the end zone or not. And that's 25 for the Yokosuka Red Devils. It's a gain on the play nonetheless, and that's Michael Calhoun. But where are they going to mark that ball at?
I mean, come on.
It looks like they're talking about where the...
Oh, man.
Calhoun went out.
His foot's on the line, but they're saying that the ball was actually before the line.
So they're going to put it right up on there, and this is going to be interesting as we now see the ball on the goal line, and if I was Dominic, I'd just follow Big Jack Samar right through the gut of the formation there. And they stopped him. They stopped Dominic Crawley.
Nice job.
They stopped him on the goal line, and that has got the Panther defense fired up. As unable to come away with 6 points was Yokosuka. It looked as if they had the ball in the end zone on 2 occasions, one called back by penalty, and one just looked like a poor spot. And I'm sure that the Kinnick coaches are just furious about the way the officiating has gone. And looks like we've got another penalty here.
Well, I'll tell you, the officials basically, in my book, I think, took it away from him. But
well, now what they're doing is they're saying Crawley was stopped, his forward momentum at the goal line. So Yokota gets to take over from their 1-inch line here. And this is going to be a good opportunity for Kinnick to try and get him in the end zone here, because the Kinnick defense has not allowed a thing all afternoon. And on defense for Kinnick at the very deep end of the field for Yokota, and there is a running play.
Hurt. Oh, someone got him, but he's hurt.
Yeah, that may be Daniel Ayers actually on the ground. It looks like that he got hit, and he may have had the wind knocked out of him.
Well, yeah, but you always got to worry about something like a neck and everything. Once you get your head down like that.
Looks like he had his bell rung a little bit. The Kinnick trainer is out there to look at him, but that is Daniel Ayers on the field. The gain on the play of about a yard for Yokota. They're very conservative down here right now. They don't want to give Kinnick anything. But as it stands right now, it's going to be about a 2nd down and 9 yards for the Yokota Panthers, and they've got their work cut out for them as they've got 99 yards of the field left to go.
Hey, the Greyhawks did it. 99 and 2 feet and 11 and 3/4 inches
touchdown. That's right.
Right?
That was a beautiful play. I think that one will live in infamy if our viewing audience didn't get to see that. This year we had a touchdown with the Greyhawks that went from basically the 1-inch line, the whole distance of the field.
That's Engstrand.
Engstrand is the one that's down.
That's going to be a sorry loss if he sits out this game.
Yeah, and Matt has been playing a lot the first period. It looks like he's had the wind knocked out of him. He may be favoring a shoulder or a hand there. It's tough to tell.
I don't think he's coming back. That's unfortunate.
And that's a big, big loss for the Yokosuka Red Devils, Kinnick High School Red Devils, as Engstrand plays both sides of the ball and really a spiritual leader as well.
That's right. I think that's well stated.
So, 2nd down and 9. Looked like a little early movement there by Yokota, but I don't see any flags on that. And the defense for Kinnick pounds the running back to the turf at the 3-yard line for a gain of about 2 yards. On that carry for Yokota was number 22, and 22 is Blake Harrigan. I guess that's how you'd say that.
Kinnick Red Devils hanging tough right now.
Yeah, they are. What's unfortunate right now, again, we don't have a clock, is that if Yokota can be stopped, it doesn't give Kinnick the chance to stop the clock because they use the timeout, and there it is, halftime. Had Kinnick not had to use those 3 timeouts, they could have stopped the clock, kept Yokota deep, and maybe gotten the ball back. But it's halftime, 6-0.
It's a shame we had to waste that field position, but we'll see what happens in the second half. Right now, Kinnick's leading 6-0 over the Yokota Panthers.
Right. And Kinnick gets the ball back first in the second half as well. They did kick off in the first half, so they'll be receiving in the second. This is Rob Regal and Bob Long bringing you action on C-Phase 7 here. Yokota Panthers against the Kinnick High School Red Devils, and we're going to take a break for halftime, and we'll be back with you third quarter action.
In just one moment.
Okay, welcome to our Kinnick High Fashion Show. Jared, are you chewing gum? You're not allowed to chew gum at school. Look at the chains. Oh, sporting, that is inappropriate. Cannot be at school this year. Rex, do you have your underclothes on the outside? I can't see your eyes. Sunglasses and hats? No, these will not be allowed. Oh, Jared, nice boxers, but let's pull up those pants. Thanks, guys. We'll see you later. Now, let's see our ladies. Ladies? Oh, my goodness. Ashley, get off that telephone and put a shirt underneath those spaghetti straps. Those are inappropriate. Walkman, is that what I see, Tiffany, with that hat? And Haruka, a halter top. These are inappropriate clothing and items allowed at Kinnick High School and Middle School this year. Thanks, girls. Let's see. Can we have some appropriate dress things we will see at Kinnick High School this year? Look, don't they look handsome and so beautiful, ladies? Look at, we're sporting our string tops with jackets over, proper shirts, and proper length shorts. Look at our young man with his pants pulled up and his nice football jersey. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and that's what you will be seeing at Kinnick High School this year.
We're back in the third quarter here, getting ready to start the kickoff, and Kinnick Red Devils are leading 6-0. And they had an opportunity right there at the end, Rob, and they just couldn't punch it through.
I'm not understanding this arrangement here. Didn't Kinnick kick off the first? Maybe they didn't. I thought they kicked off in the first half, and now they're kicking off in the second half.
They did.
Why
in
is
fact,
that?
I mean, the first possession was by Yokota. Well, maybe, I don't know, just giving Yokota another opportunity to,
maybe.
to score or something.
I don't know. Yeah. Okay.
Nice kick,
Nice,
though.
beautiful kick.
Nice
Down
kick,
deep
good
to the
catch.
20-yard line. Number 32 for the Yokota Panthers makes a beautiful move, gets out to the far side of the field, and knocked out of bounds at the 50-yard line, and that was a touchdown-saving tackle made by Engstrom, which is good to see him back on the field.
Yeah.
He was basically shaken up and wobbly and taken off the field at the end of the first half of play, but it looks like he's regrouped himself and he's ready to play. That was a huge break for Yokota as they were able to come out and put themselves in the best field position they've had all afternoon at the Yokota 48-yard line. So Kinnick's going to take over on defense here, and it looks like, it's still the same quarterback, Shabao, for Yokota Panthers. They're in the I formation, 1st and 10. He's going to look to throw right off the get-go, puts the ball in the air, and off the hands of number 88, who should have caught that ball.
Caught it. Yeah, I think he should have caught it.
We
almost had an opportunity to catch it ourselves.
And he's going back to the huddle saying, my bust. Definitely had a nice open play there, and that's got to frustrate the quarterback as number 88, DeJuan Washington, was unable to come up with the ball.
I'm surprised to see Engstrom back in.
Yeah,
but,
so am I. It
he's
looked like he was really hurt when he came off, but, he is the captain of that defense. He's the one that brings them their
He's like the Ted
energy.
Hendricks of our football team, right?
Yeah. Okay, so 2nd down and 10 for the Yokota Panthers from the 48-yard line of Kinnick. It's a handoff to the first back through, who Engstrom meets, and there's a fumble. The ball was on the ground, but it was picked up by the Yokota running back. That was the number 31 for the Yokota Panthers, and that's Chris Cyrus. Cyrus was hit by Engstrom, and he had a gain of about 3 yards on the play, but no more, and the ball got loose, but Engstrom unable to come up with it.
Engstrom's getting a break. I mean, this scene that he's working real hard in there. He tries to wave off the guy coming in, but it's good for the coach to give him a break, especially when he was, hurt, and they want to make sure he's continuing to be okay.
Okay, so Daniel Ayers is going to come in his place in the linebacker position, and we're going to look at a 3rd down and about 7 yards for the first down for Yokota, and it's going to be a pass play off to the left-hand side, and the quarterback's got nowhere to go. Picked off, intercepted by 24 of the Kinnick Red Devils. A beautiful play up to the 48-yard line.
Soriano
and
right there.
Soriano comes up with a huge interception for Kinnick when Yokota looked to be getting some offense going there. And first nice play, tipped the ball up to himself and caught it. And that was just really not a good decision by the Yokota quarterback to throw that ball.
Well, I mean, looking at it in hindsight, of course, it wasn't a good decision because Gerald Soriano was a man on the spot.
Well, and the receiver was, covered. There's no question about it. There was 3 people on the receiver he was trying to throw it to. And this is going to give Kinnick some good field position at their 48-yard line, just a couple of yards from Yokota territory. And a big break for Kinnick Red Devils as they get ready to take over on offense. Dominic Crawley comes in. He's going to be the quarterback here for the first series of downs in the second half. He concluded the first half of play as the quarterback and did a marvelous job on 2 long Kinnick drives. Hands off to the second back through. That's the first time we've called 17's number. He's tackled for a huge 4-yard loss, and that's Matt Steins. Matt Steins on his first carry of the game, and unfortunately unable to get out to the left-hand side. But there's a penalty on the play.
Yeah, they had him right around the helmet.
I think that's going to be a problem because anytime you get your hands near their face in a high school or college football, you're going to get a flag, and especially in high school ball.
Which judge called that? Because I think
it looked
the guy
like
on
the side
should
judge
have threw it, but I think it was the ref.
Well, the ref was following the play, so he may not have had a good view. He may be asking, hey, did you see what went on? But It's tough to say. Normally the side judge will call that, coming out to that side of the field.
Well, while we're waiting, I just want to remind everyone out, there's no cheaper place to go to the movies in Japan but at MWR, either at the Fleet Theater or at the Benny Decker. And as a matter of fact, a lot of the Fleet sailors can get discounts, and, they go in for like half price, so you can't beat it, especially you got nothing else to do. Come on out.
Okay, they're going to mark this ball. That's a 5-yard penalty. That's not the flagrant variety of face mask, fortunately. And
hey, what's that movie that's coming up? Shaving Private Ryan? That's a commercial.
Saving Private Ryan.
Shaving Private Ryan is a commercial.
I'm really looking forward to seeing that movie. One of the things that we hear about in the United States is all the good movies, and then we get them really shortly thereafter. And this one has got rave reviews, so stand by for that one. Coming up soon. Dominic Crawley takes over first down and 5. And Dominic Crawley breaks free, able to come up the field. And he had some blocking, but was unable to find it. It's tough when you're scrambling like that.
It is real tough.
But that's basically going to end up as a net of about a half a yard loss. Going to bring up a second down and 5, maybe 6 yards.
Well, that's fortunate itself. It would have been like about a 6-yard loss.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Saving Private Ryan. That's coming to a theater near you.
It's not even near you. It's like right beside you on this base. So we've got 2 great facilities for watching movies, the Benny Decker Theater and the Fleet Theater.
And Channel 5. Don't forget Channel 5.
Don't forget your own living room. You can see some great movies. Okay, 2nd and 5. Crawley looks to pass. He's got a man open, and that's intercepted.
Oh, almost.
And dropped. And that was probably not a wise decision to throw that ball out there as number 25 for the Kinnick Red Devils, Michael Calhoun, was well covered. And fortunately for Dominic, he gets a shot at it again as it's going to bring up a 3rd and 6.
I think he wanted to lob it a little bit over, just over that defender's head, but it was like almost right to the defender.
So a beautiful afternoon here in Yokota Air Force Base. This is Rob Riegel and Bob Long bringing you action on C-Phase 7. Kinnick Red Devils up 6-0, facing a 3rd down and 6. Midway through the 3rd period of play, Dominic Crawley, the quarterback, and in the I formation is Engstrand and Soriano. Nice blocking there, and there's a pass that's away, and it's intercepted, and that is unfortunate as Kinnick's going to give the ball to Yokota at about the 32-yard line. And Dominic misfired on the last couple of passes, unable to get it to the intended receiver. He had one that looked like it was going to be intercepted previously, and then this one did come away being intercepted, and they're going to take over on defense now. But Yokota's still got to prove they can move the ball on offense. Dominic Crawley could throw it to the Yokota defense all day, and unless their offense can move the ball, they're going to have problems.
Hey, one thing that the ships are really taking advantage of with MWR right now is they are having all kinds of athletic events for the ships.
Yeah, this is the Summer Sports Festival. It was temporarily halted due to the onset of Typhoon Rex, but back on again. And the Flag Football Championship was Thursday night. Basketball was last night. That ball is well overthrown. The intended receiver on that play for Yokota, number 14, is A.J. Bodie. Bodie was overthrown by a good 15 yards, and Shibeo just hasn't been able to connect today. He's had faced a lot of pressure. He had time to throw there, but just misfired. Yeah, Summer Sports Festival, very good attendance. Softball championships have going on this weekend. Basketball was last night.
In fact, the Kitty Hawk won over Dental. Hard-fought battle. Great job, but Dental had a game right before that, and they were a little bit tugged out, but the Kitty Hawk is a fine team, and they did a great job.
So Kinnick on defense, 2nd down and 10, coming up for a nice stop in the backfield.
Oh, come on, you got to stop him, though.
Yeah, unable to come up with a tackle, but still a good stop on the play. Kinnick Red Devils had a chance to drop him for a huge loss. It really looked like number 44 for the Kinnick Red Devils, Rextini Andrade, had a chance at really knocking him back for a loss, but was unable to come up with a grip on the player. So it's going to bring up a big third down at about 7 yards for the Yokota Panthers.
Yeah, he was finished off by Ariel Zamora, though. He stuck it right to him. Brought him down.
Yeah, Zamora did not miss on that. It was a good stick. So now we're looking at the 3rd and 7, and Yokota's got to get some momentum here if they're going to get back in this game. They have had very, very few first downs, if any, and Kinnick's just been able to shut them down. So back on defense for the Red Devils here with the 3rd and 7 in the I formation. Chabot, the quarterback, he looks to drop back. He's got pressure from Matt Steins. A huge sack by Steins. Steins came in through the middle, basically untouched on the blitz from the linebacker position and dropped Chabot on the turf, and he didn't expect that at all.
No, he didn't either, but he's getting a lot of high fives out there.
Yeah. Yeah, the Kinnick's fired up. That. And again, Kinnick fails to yield on a long 3rd down play, and they're going to get the ball back in pretty decent field position as Yokota's going to be forced to punt from their 26-yard line. So a huge loss on that sack of about 12 yards. This kick is away, and it's a fairly decent kick. It's going to go to Daniel Ayers. Ayers is the starting quarterback of today's action. He's getting out to the right-hand side, got some room to turn it up the field, and he's almost able to break it for a huge gain, but he's out at the 32-yard line of the Yokota Panthers, and Kinnick takes over an excellent field position with a great run by Daniel Ayers.
That was really a fine run.
Yes, it was. Very good.
Very, very good run.
Well, Ayers is a quarterback. He's got some speed, and he's a pretty big kid, and he was able to get out there, and Yokota just wasn't able to bring him down, and that was a nice play. Now, they're saying he actually stepped out at about the 36-yard line. The pile ended up about the 32, but Kinnick's going to take over in great field position thanks to the long return.
You know, hey, have you been out to some of the gyms? Like, you know, if you go to either Thue Gym or Fleet Rec, it doesn't matter where you go. You know, MWR is really doing a great business over there. I mean, they are really taking care of a lot of the sailors.
Okay, we've got a penalty here. It was tough to see the flag out there. There's a penalty on that return, and they're going to call that an illegal block, and they're saying that the block occurred at about the 42-yard line, so they're going to mark the penalty off from there, and that's going to put the ball at Kinnick's, roughly Kinnick's 48-yard line, 47-yard line, let's call it. And they're going to take over from there. So a costly penalty actually ends up costing them a lot more than the 10 yards that were marked off because they had to take it from the spot of the foul, and it's going to end up being a net loss of about 25 yards for Kinnick. Crawley at quarterback in the I formation. Engstrand and looks like Soriano again. No, Soriano and number 22, Ponemeyer.
That was close. If he just popped through that hole,
yep.
That
Ray Ponemeyer on the carry, unable to gain any yards on the play. Net gain is 0, 2nd down and 10. So he was unable to break free on the right-hand side.
You know, that would have been a nice one. You know, I was just mentioning about all the business that MWR is doing over at the gyms. It's really surprising. Have you been out there, Rob?
Oh, I'm there every day just about. I take classes over at University of Maryland at night, and that Fleet Rec Center is packed every day I go.
It's incredible. And I've been going over by Thue Gym and everything, and like there's so many people out there working out, which is great. I mean, we're going to have a lot of healthy people here on Yokosuka Bay.
Oh, absolutely.
With the help of MWR, of course. The price is right, you know.
Absolutely. Ponemeyer on the carry, he fumbles the ball, and it's recovered by the Yokota Panthers. Number 58 for Yokota comes up with the ball. A costly penalty for Yokosuka, who has misfired on their possession so far in the 3rd period of play. And number 58 on the recovery there is Hector Caro for the Yokota Panthers, and he was right in the right spot. But Ponemeyer's got to do a better job of tucking that ball away. So there's going to be, look like a timeout there by Kinnick. I think the coach wants to talk to the players and say, hey, look, you know, we're killing ourselves here in the second half, and we can't be giving them these opportunities here. Had an interception and now a fumble in the 2nd period, and, you know, Yokosuka's defense has been strong thus far, but you can't keep giving Yokota the ball at the, you know, in your own territory there. So the best field position of the afternoon for Yokota, they're going to get the ball at the Kinnick 40-yard line, and gives us a chance to talk about what you were just referring to, some of the things going on at the Fleet Rec Center and some of the things going on with MWR. Bob, I see you got a...
Well, I have a paper here, but, you know, I'm just amazed because, like I said, I've been going down to the gyms. There's so many things going on. You were saying there's like soccer, there's football, there's there's basketball going on, there's volleyball, and the gyms are like packed, crowded, people lifting weights, people doing classes, aerobics, there's karate classes. I mean, you can continue, but all the people that we serve down there, it's amazing, people can, say what they want about MWR, but nobody serves more people than MWR. No one. Absolutely no one.
Yeah, it's interesting what all MWR does do. I know, being part of that entity we call MWR, it astounds me what all we're able to do and what our capabilities
It's hard to do
are.
everything right. We desire to do that, but it's hard to get it all right all the time. But there is effort, believe me.
Wide open.
No.
And broken up beautifully by Soriano. As
Now,
he
that was
able
timing.
Yeah, that ball was a perfect pass, but Soriano at the last minute able to get a hand in there and knock it to the ground. And that's got to dispirit Shibeo, because that was his best effort of the afternoon.
That was perfectly thrown, and he should have caught it. And as a matter of fact, I was thinking, Gerald's in a bad position.
Yeah, he was actually, he had a lot bigger receiver in front of him, which typically is bad news, but he was able to come up from behind and reach a hand around. It was nice play. Yeah, it was. So Yokota, 2nd and 10 from the Kinnick 40-yard line, and the Red Devils dodge another bullet thus far as they're able to break up a play that looked like it was headed for huge yards. And in the I formation comes Yokota. Shibeo, the quarterback, in the I formation takes the snap from center. And he's going to look to throw again.
Yeah.
He drops deep. He's got a man open at the 20-yard line or 25-yard line.
Tackle.
And a good tackle put on.
Richard Ball.
Yokota's fired up, and they've got a lot of energy right now.
Yeah, they're moving the ball well. I mean, whatever they were talking about halftime was actually benefited by a couple of calls there, but right now they're looking pretty smooth.
Well, Shibeo's been able to come in the second half and complete a couple of passes where he was unable to. That's a big first down for Yokota, as they're deep in Kinnick territory now at the 27-yard line. And Kinnick, their defense has been on the field a good portion of the day, and they might be getting a little tired.
Well, they need a play. I mean, right now they need a play.
Okay, handoff to the first back through. He's stuffed at about the 26-yard line, almost loses the ball, but able to hold on to it. And that's going to bring up about a 2nd down and 8 for the Yokota Panthers, as their running game still hasn't been able to do much.
Ariel Zamora made that stop. Okay, defense got to hang tough now. Got to make a play here. Turnover would be nice. Don't always get what you want, though.
Don't always get what you want, but doesn't mean you can't try.
They'll be trying. They sure will.
Okay, so we're going to look at 2nd down and 8. Yokota stays in their I formation. They don't vary from that very often. Shibeo pitches to the deep back. There's some Red Devils out there.
Oh, nice job.
He breaks the corner out to the right-hand side and able to get down to about the 15, 12-yard line of Kinnick, and that is a big play for Yokota as it gets them a first down. And that's going to bring up a 1st and 10 from the Yokosuka, looks like 12-yard line there. And that was a nice effort on Yokota's part there, and the defense is going to take another timeout. And the coach wants to talk to him and let him know, hey, you got to make those tackles. They had him tackled for a loss. We're able to get a couple hands on him, but unable to bring him down.
Great job by Yokota Panthers right at the moment. This is where, we get a timeout here. Kinnick's going to have to talk about it. Mike Murphy over there, and he's going to make some adjustments here. Hopefully they're the right adjustments. Let's see, where else can you bowl for $1? I mean, whether you're in the States or anywhere else, it doesn't matter.
Unless your family owns a bowling alley nowhere that I know of.
Well, you can do it at MWR,
You can do it for, $1.
And while you're there, there's a snack bar over there. As a matter of fact, you don't even have to use it while you're bowling. Anytime you want, you can go over there and use their snack bar.
You know what they do there? I'm going to tell you this right now. The best breakfast on the base is at the bowling alley. Believe it or not.
You heard it here live on Channel 7 right now.
I'm a breakfast aficionado, and the best breakfast is at the bowling alley. They make breakfast burritos, I tell you. They're like footballs. They're so big, but they're Just excellent, excellent food.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right.
Here on CPA 7.
I'm critiquing the base breakfast, and that's the best.
Hey, maybe we've got to do that. Go out to, like, the CPO clubs. But, you go to any of those places, and, like, on steak night, where else can you get a steak for that cheap?
Well, not only that, it's just delicious. I mean,
it's incredible, and you get to pick which type you want.
And I'm not really interested in what it's doing to my health for anyone that's listening at home. I want a good, big, rich steak. A beautiful tackle there. There's the Yokosuka defense. Kinnick Red Devils coming up big on the play.
Look at that.
As they stopped Yokota for no gain on the play, going to bring down 2nd and 10. And this is where Kinnick gets really stingy, as you said. Not many
Rodney
touchdowns.
Gabriel right there hanging on.
Yeah. And
Number 55, and also helping him out was Michael Calhoun.
Yep.
Initial hit. Rodney's the one that was just hanging on to his legs and wouldn't let him go anywhere.
Yep.
Rodney's going to be leaving not too long, too.
And his mother, too, also works with us in the media department, Cora. And we really hate to see them go. Cora's just been an excellent person to know, and we want to wish them the best of luck. But, yeah, Rodney's going to be moving on, going back to San Diego, the Gabriel family. And a nice...
oh, look at this.
That's going to be out of the receiver's hands.
It was there.
It was in his hands, and this is the second time that number 86 for Yokota, Matt Holbrook, has been unable to come up with the ball. Now, there's a flag on the play, and he may have crossed the line of scrimmage, illegal procedure. Now, if you're Kinnick, you're going to decline that.
Yeah.
Why give him another shot at it?
Don't even give him another shot. Hey, we had a great view of that tree over there, Rob.
Yeah, that was a nice tree.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate that we couldn't get a chainsaw out here a little earlier and knock that down.
Actually, it's a beautiful tree. I would never want to cut it down. It's just that it happens to be in a bad spot for us up here.
Declined by the Red Devils, as we surmised they would do. Not that we need to be Nostradamus to figure that one out. But going to bring up a big 3rd down play for the Yokota Panthers here as they're facing... a serious situation against the Yokosuka defense. Kinnick Red Devils are really stingy thus far today, keeping the scoreboard blank thus far. Shibeo takes the snap. He's going to look to throw.
He's looking to pass it again.
And
get out there.
And picks up. And out to the races is Gerald Soriano. And Soriano is...
Incredible.
2nd interception of the game, and a huge break for the Kinnick Red Devils as he came in untouched, got the ball, and ran for 30 yards, and Shibeo just can't believe it.
Was he ready? Was Gerald ready for that?
Oh, he had it all the way. I think Gerald knew where that ball was going to be thrown before the quarterback did. He was in the receiver's pocket, came up with a huge interception, and changes the momentum of the game on one play.
Quickness had to add to that, because at first I was looking over there and I'm saying he's too far away to defend that guy. And then all of a sudden, he gets to where the ball is, and he picks up the ball and runs down the right side of the field over there. Incredible.
His 2nd interception of the game. It's been a big game for him on defense. He hasn't been able to get much going on offense in the running game, but Soriano with his 2nd interception, and a huge interception as he's able to move the ball from about the 5-yard line where he picked it off all the way out to the 38-yard line at Kinnick. We have an injured player for Yokota. The Panthers, number 58, is being helped off the field. That's the delay here. And number 58 is Hector Caro, and we hope that he's okay. He's favoring his ankle, it looks like.
If they were making a 4-engine run, I think Gerald just took away one of their engines.
Yeah, he...
we used to call it back on the diesel boats. I'm an old diesel boat sailor.
It's an incredible play, really. When you look at how far away from the receiver he was, he came through there like a bullet, like a shot out of a gun.
That was great.
Nicely done, and he was one player away from putting 6 points on the board for Yokosuka for the Kinnick.
Great job, though. And, his parents are going to be watching this on CPA 7. I know they are. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't be surprised if they're out there in the stands, because they even came up to Misawa last year when he was playing ball up there.
Okay, so we're looking at 1st and 10, and that's Soriano on a carry. Yeah. He's met immediately, and Gerald is brought down to the ground by a host of Yokota Panthers.
Well, they probably don't like him anymore.
Yeah, he's probably not Mr. Popular. I don't think he's going to win most popular in their yearbook, but This is a good thing for Kinnick to do, is run the ball a little bit and try and get some time off the clock, but also try and establish some tempo in this game, as they've been unable to do anything on offense in the second period, where in the first half of play they were able to just dictate the whole tempo. So Crawley's back under center, Kinnick in the I formation. In the backfield is Steins and Soriano. Steins, the second back through.
Oh, look at
breaks
this.
off to the right-hand side, has a nice play out to the right-hand side. He had a face mask there, too. I don't know if they saw that, but he got a first down, enough yardage for the first down, and that's what Kinnick needs to do.
That was some great running.
Matt Steins with some nifty running, able to evade a host of Panther tacklers there, comes up with a huge first down for Kinnick, and that's their first down of the second half of play.
You know, we got a lot of guys doing things right out here. It's really hard to pick anyone that is really standing out.
Yeah, it is. It's a team effort. One person that, you know, I would say definitely helped them in the first period was probably the reason why they're in the lead is Engström. He was instrumental on offense and defense. And here's Soriano with the carrier. He breaks free for a few yards. He's able to pick up about 4 yards on that play. Going to bring up a second down and 6 yards. But Engström did a good job. But as you say, everybody's really pitching in, and we're calling a lot of numbers today, and that's what we like to see from Kinnick Red Devil football.
That's right. So the guys here, the guys out here, it's a small crowd of guys down there, but the guys that stick it out, working hard, they're all doing well.
Hey, it was a real pleasure to be able to put them in all the football team players in the paper. I really like doing that. They get jacked about it, you know. They like it. Yeah, they get excited about it, getting their picture in the paper. But it's a fun thing that we like to do. And if you haven't picked up a copy of the Seahawk, come by our office. It's got all of the football players listed in there. And if you want to come out and see some really good football on Friday nights, typically at home, Yokosuka Kinnick High School Red Devil football, there's nothing like it. It's very exciting. Before I was doing broadcasting last year, I was at all the games because it's one of the things that you can take from the United States of America and move over here. It's just, you know, like I said, Americana, to be able to go out on Friday night. And
there's nothing like it. I mean, there's nothing like, I mean, football is a big part. You know, they say baseball, it is very big, but football is a big part of our culture. It
is. There's no question about it. And one thing I'm really excited about, I got to put this plug in, being from Columbus, Ohio, or a suburb of Columbus, Dublin, Ohio, Ohio State Buckeyes, #1 in all major college football polls. We're really excited about that at home.
Well,
they'll blow it, but, you know.
Well, you always talk about your Nebraska guys, you know. So.
Well, I went to school in Nebraska, so went to college there. I got to plug them, but...
so you get a few dueling... loyalties out there, right?
Yeah, well, Ohio State typically never plays Nebraska. Now, that could change this year. They've got a bowl alliance now that's supposedly going to determine a real national champion. We'll see. But, yeah, college football beginning this weekend. That's going to be exciting. That's going to be broadcast into our homes there in Yokosuka on cable. Be able to see a lot of college football, and certainly appreciate AFN's efforts in getting us those games. They're going to have what's going to come up next week, they're going to have an AFN, believe it or not, Bob, forum, where they're going to open up to the public the chance to talk to the people who direct AFN back in the States and get them to kind of help out. Okay, so we're going to change directions as the fourth period gets underway here. Kinnick Red Devils in the lead, 6-0. Out to the right-hand side is Matt Stein. Shakes free from a tackle out to the right-hand side. And he was off to the races. He slipped a little bit, but he was very close to breaking that for a touchdown. Got out to the 30-yard line. That's going to move the chains as a first down for Kinnick High School Red Devils. And Kinnick's on the march now. And one thing Yokota cannot afford to do at this point in time is to give Yokosuka another score, because that's really, I think, going to be the game if they do.
I'm going to mention something right here while we have a moment. Japan, it's coming back by popular demand. It's going to be on September 12th at the O Club. You know, every once in a while they do performances. They get a little stage over there, and Nettie Hoot tries to get different people to come in there. And this one's a fun one. I mean, people really like to come out to do this. So if you're interested, call over to the O Club and see if you can get tickets.
Yeah, that Japan, I've seen that. That's a riot. And there's going to be a false start on Kinnick, as looked like number 69 left a little bit early for the Kinnick Red Devils, and that would be, let's take a look here, Mark Zamora.
Ariel Zamora?
Mark Zamora.
Oh, is there another
There's
Zamora?
a Mark
Is that his brother?
I don't know. We'll have to ask the Zamora clan.
Yeah, it's got to be.
It's got to be. How many Zamoras can you have?
That's right.
In one world.
That's right.
Okay, so even if he isn't his brother, we're going to make him his brother now.
Yeah, well, there's like kind
once
of
it's in the
down here
media,
right
it's the truth. So,
right.
Okay, 1st and 15. Crawley under center in the I formation for Kinnick Red Devils. Hands off to the first back through Soriano. Soriano gets the bulk of that 5 yards back. Gets up to close to the original line of scrimmage. Going to bring up a 2nd down and 12 yards for Kinnick. Soriano's quick, you know. We've had the privilege of seeing him play basketball. He's a guard for the basketball team, and he is amazingly quick. Just unbelievable.
Yes, he is. He has good quickness, and that's extremely helpful. And you know, being a smaller guy on the team, quickness is definitely important.
Okay, so we're going to get a 2nd down and 12. Crawley under center. Takes the ball, hands off to the deep back, who's met immediately by Yokota Panther.
Oh.
And that's number 86 on that tackle. A huge loss for the Yokosuka Kinnick Red Devils. And in on that tackle was number 86, Matt Holbrook, and he's probably happy to be able to do that because he's the one that dropped a touchdown pass for him earlier. So, but Kinnick misfiring a little bit on offense this series of downs as they're backed up now, facing a 3rd down and 16 yards, and almost 17, and but deep in Yokota territory.
You see a lot of people going by and waving up this way. They're not waving at us, Rob. I mean, even though, you know, we're probably world famous and everything.
Now they're waving to the people below us.
Right. Akibono's in there.
Akibono,
the Yokozuna.
Yokozuna.
And he's down there. As a matter of fact, he's married to a young lady that whose father teaches here at Yokota High School. And I guess she gets to bring him up there. And as a matter of fact, he's a little bit away from the crowd, so he gets to watch good old American football, something I'm sure he misses.
Yeah, he is an American. A lot of people probably don't know that, but Akibono, along with several of the other notable sumo wrestlers, are Americans.
And we're very proud of the success that they've enjoyed over here in Japan.
Oh, absolutely. Huge crowd favorite, Akibono.
Well, we're pausing here for a minute.
Yeah, it's a timeout.
I want to mention that Japan is it's for adults only. So if anybody's wondering about bringing a youngster there, it is for adults only. But tickets are on sale at the cashier's cage. But if you want to call over, it's 243-5030.
Okay, so a big 3rd down for Yokosuka Kinnick High School Red Devils. And Crawley's going to look to pass, which is no big surprise. And he's got a man open 25.
Look at this.
And it's
incredible.
A beautiful play as he's able to get down past the 10-yard line. And that was a very, very nice effort there. 25,
Michael
Calhoun comes up with another big pass. And who would have predicted on a 3rd and 17 that he's going to get that pass and go all the way to the 9-yard line?
Yeah, but you know what? That was an incredible catch. I mean, Michael Calhoun.
He was kind of going backwards, and he just kind of was able to get enough of it to bring it in. And
I'm telling you, Michael Calhoun is coming into his own right here, and this is the first game of the season, and he's showing excellent hands.
Yeah, he's doing a great job. He's actually playing it coming out of there from the tight end position, and you know, I think that's one of the areas that Yokota's overlooking is the tight end, and we've been able to take advantage of it. Matt Steins is going to be brought down for a loss there of about 3 yards on the play. Yokota sniffed that one out.
Well, Stein's been successful, but they may be keying on him now.
Yeah, I think that when he comes in now, they're like, hey, watch him.
You're right.
But it's still a good shot here for Kinnick to put some points on the board. The Red Devils leading 6-0 here late in the game. We don't know where we're at in the 4th period of play. Everything's been kind of moved from its old place. So this is a temporary field. It's in nice condition. It's a little soft in the middle, but going to get a 2nd down and goal to go now. And
going to pass.
Yeah, it's a pass play, and Crawley's got plenty of room.
Look at this.
He's going to run, and he's going to get down below the 5, and he's down to about the 3-yard line, and an excellent effort by Crawley. And Yokosuka Kinnick Red Devils, Kinnick High School Red Devils, have been down here before. Prior to the half, they were down on the goal line, and Yokota Panthers came up with a huge stop on defense, a couple consecutive plays. So Kinnick's going to have to work
with a little
something
help
out
from
here.
their friends.
Yeah, with a little help from their officials, but we can't dwell on the past.
That's true.
Kinnick up 6-0 late in the game here, and threatening to score again. And in the backfield, we've got Soriano and Stein. Steins has just a little bit of his jersey left on him. He's been pretty active in the game here, but they're in the I formation with Gerald Soriano in the up back position. And there's a false start, a huge penalty coming against Kinnick here, as 78 got off early there, and we don't have his name, unfortunately, but he left a little bit early.
Well, maybe that's a good thing. You know, we don't have his name, so we can't say anything about it.
We don't have to point him out, yeah.
The mystery man out there. We get a mystery man every once in a while, you know, on several teams.
Okay, so that's going to bring up a 3rd and goal from about the 9-yard line.
Well, that just gives a little more room to work with here.
Yeah, it does give them a little room to work with, but sure would have liked to seen it down there at that 3 or 4 yard line. Okay, Crawley under center I formation, same set as Soriano, and Stein's in the backfield. To the second back through, Stein's unable to break free from the Yokota tackler, and he's brought down. That was a nice tackle made by number 87 of the Yokota Panthers, and that's Jeff Skeen. Skeen able to make a good tackle. That's going to bring up a 4th down and goal from the 11. It'll be interesting to see what Kinnick chooses to do here. If they put 3 points on the board, it's going to force Yokota to score twice late in the game. But they may be thinking, hey, why not? Let's just try it and see if we can get another score here. That's what they're going to do. They're going to go for it on 4th down. And the thinking here, I'm sure, is that Yokota would have to march the whole length of the field if they didn't score. So 4th down for Kinnick. Big 4th down, 11 yards to the goal line. Crawley drops back to pass. He lets go.
You got it off.
And
Picked off.
Intercepted and tackled at the 4 yard line, which it doesn't make a difference.
Right.
That's, kiss your sister there.
But actually, that was good that he caught it. He should have never caught it.
Yeah, what it ended up doing, it ended up being a loss on the play for Yokota.
So let's
Right, so they're going to get it, instead of getting it at the 11, now they get it at the 3 yard line. But, hey, when he's seeing the stats in their local paper, seeing that he had an interception, he's not going to tell them that it didn't matter.
That's true. That is true.
Okay, so Yokota Panthers have their work cut out for them late in the game as they've got the length of the field to go. Kinnick Red Devils thus far in the game unwilling to give up any points, and Yokota unable to move the ball. So they want a timeout here. They're going to talk about it. They've got a little bit of time left. We don't know how much, unfortunately, but...
what quarter are we in?
4th period.
Are we in the 4th already?
Yeah.
The time flies.
When you're having fun, it really does. But Kinnick Red Devils up. Now, I want to tell you about a couple of the things from this customer service thing that this training we went to. I want to talk to the audience about that a little bit. One of the things that, we realize is that, we sometimes have bad days. The customers sometimes have bad days. But one of the things we don't want the customer to do is get discouraged. If you have a problem, bring it to our attention. We want to try and get things right for you. You kind of hit on this topic a little bit earlier. Sue Farrington, our boss, that's her #1 priority is customer service. But one of the things that we were told in our staff meeting was that it's also a DOD directive. We have to be nice. So if we're not doing our job.
I mean, I said that before. I said, the customers don't have to be nice. We have to be nice. It's part of our job to be nice. So if we're not being nice, then you just tell the boss. You tell the manager that someone is not being nice, even if you're not being nice.
Absolutely.
We would like you to be nice because it would make us easier for us to be nice, but you don't have to be.
Okay, so we're back to live action here. As 1st down from the 4 yard line is the Yokota Panthers, and brought down for a sack is a huge sack for Kinnick.
That's a touchback.
That's a safety.
It's a safety.
It's a safety, a 2-point safety as Kinnick blew through the line, number 55 in on that, and that was just an excellent effort by Rodney Gabriel, and Cora would be proud.
She is going to be watching this game on Channel 7.
This is a huge play as Yokota now is forced to punt the ball away. They must score now twice or at least score a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to even tie.
That's right.
And basically that sack by Rodney Gabriel probably cost Yokota the game. So
Way
huge.
to go, Rodney.
Huge.
You know, you're right. His mom is just going to be booming.
Well, I'm going to talk to her tomorrow, or Monday actually, and let her know that we just were amazed. But he blew through the middle of that line, Rodney Gabriel did,
You know what?
untouched.
I think that's one of the guys I see over there working out all the time. You know, he's in good shape this year.
Yeah, he is. He is.
He's been pushing himself, and when he goes back to San Diego, hopefully he'll get a good spot on one of those teams back there.
There's going to be some lucky high school that's going to grab him up because he's a very talented athlete, and football is definitely his specialty.
Well, good luck to you, Rodney, as you depart from us. I think he's only got a couple of games with us. But
yeah, he may only have one more actually. I think we're only going to see him one more time, which is unfortunate. And really, too, Dominic Crawley, there's going to be 2 huge losses early for Kinnick, and they're going to have to rebound from that.
And they're only going to have 16 guys on the team.
I'm surprised that Yokota kicked that ball away. Okay, Ponemeyer picks it up off the right-hand side of the field. He's going to swing out to the left-hand side, turn up field. He's at the 50-yard line to the 45-yard line of Yokota Panthers, and that was a decent run back.
It was. I was surprised he got that far.
I'm surprised that Yokota actually kicked it off deep to Kinnick, because what that did, in essence, is allow Kinnick to run more time off the clock. I would have thought Yokota would have tried the onside kick, but nonetheless, here we are late in the 4th period of play with the Kinnick Red Devils up 8-0, and we're happy to be able to bring you this game from Yokota Air Force Base. This is Rob Riegel and Bob Long on C-Phase 7, and just an exciting afternoon of football for Kinnick as they've just dominated on both halves of the field and come up with a couple of big plays today to put them up 8-0.
That's right. And, that always makes that ride home a lot better.
Oh, absolutely. It's a long ride back, and it's going to be a happy...
Oh, look at nice hit there by Yokota.
Yeah, the Panthers' defense has done a good job in the second half. They haven't allowed Yokosuka, the Kinnick Red Devils, into the end zone. They really stepped it up, but their offense just hasn't been able to do anything. And the story of the game today is the Kinnick Red Devil defense has a couple of big interceptions by Gerald Soriano and a huge, huge sack for a safety by Rodney Gabriel are really what has helped Kinnick throughout the day and put the points on the board for him.
There have been so many people, like you said, we were calling so many numbers out there. It's been fun, and the thing is that there's so many young men out there that are getting a little bit of kudos out there.
Yeah, I formation again, 2nd down and 11. Dominic Crawley, the quarterback, he's going to hand to the first back through Gerald Soriano, who's met immediately at the original line of scrimmage, going to bring up a 3rd down and 10. Yeah, it's been a great effort. It's been a balanced attack by Kinnick. They've done it through the air and on the ground. Dominic Crawley came in midway through the first period of play and has been able to put together a good game for Kinnick. The Red Devils offense has probably put together a few hundred yards of offense, but only has 6 points to show, and part of that is that they were unable to put it in the end zone from the 1-inch line due to some questionable officiating.
Well, I think we got to let that one go because it's history now.
Yeah, it's
that's
history.
For sure.
So we got a 3rd down, big 3rd down play as Crawley's under pressure.
Times it right.
He's got a safety valve there, and that's Gerald Soriano, who's off to the races, who's going to bring it up, and it's going to try and get that 1st down, and very close to a 1st down.
More valuable time right there.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting here. It's going to be, depend on the spot, but it's going to be a 4th down, and it looks like about a yard. And, of course, Kinnick isn't going to give the ball away. They're going to try and go for it.
Right. Now, the thing is, Crawley timed that just right. I mean, they were very close to him. He just kind of lobbed it over to Soriano.
Okay, Dominic's going to get a timeout here as Kinnick's going to talk about a little bit. 8-0, Kinnick lead towards the end of the game here. They're going to huddle and talk about it. So what else do we got to talk about today, Robert?
Okay, we don't have to talk about this, but it's important for our people to know, especially all the new ships that came. Information tours and ticketing. They are there to serve you, believe me. And there's so many things to do. There's people that have been here for years that could go over there and find something new to do every single day.
Well, I want to tell you, I just went on a tour last weekend, Nishizawa Ravine hiking tour, and it was one of the most beautiful places I've been at in my life.
And you know what?
Unbelievable.
90% of the people on the base haven't been there. And how much did it cost to go there?
Oh, it was like a very reasonable $35 or something. And
you can't even drive there for that.
No, you can't. And in addition to that, we got to go to this winery. I picked up some wine. And, you know, it was a really nice afternoon. The tour guide knew her subject matter, was very, very courteous, and, you know, it was fun. I took my son, who's 5. He's starting his first year of school in the Dodge system. I'm really happy for that. He's a kindergartner this year. And my son went on it, and they said, you know, it's only for, you know, 10 or older. And I said, well, I think my son can handle it. You know, he's hiked up Mount Fuji when he was 4, went all the way to the top.
You know, that's another thing that people need to do. If you haven't done it this year, it's too late. But next year, you can be ready and go up Mount Fuji with MWR Tours.
Anyway, they were reasonable about it. They said, hey, you know your son best, bring him on. And, you know, so they bend over backwards to help you out and accommodate you. And that's just a good example of it. There's a false start. And that's not a... That's the worst play to do it on. 4th down and 1. Now you bring up 4th down and 6. And Dominic Crawley's talking to him about that. That was Anthony Elmore. And that's the second time he's moved early. And they may want to punt the ball now. Yeah, it looks like they're gonna go ahead and punt the ball away because it's just going to be too difficult, and we don't want to give Yokota that kind of field position this late in the game.
Right.
So that potentially cost Kinnick some valuable time. But it's going to be tough. Yokota's going to still have, no matter what, if they get the ball back here, they're still going to have to face a very, very stiff test. And Ayers kicks the ball away. It's a halfway decent kick because it takes it away from the receiver, goes out of bounds at about the 13-yard line, which is going to mean that Yokota Panthers will have 87 yards to go to try and put points on the board. And I don't think they've gotten 87 yards all game long.
Right.
Kinnick has really put it to them this afternoon, and we're going to get a chance to see him again.
Yokota's had a couple of good, you know, runs there. They started looking pretty smooth, and then all of a sudden, Kinnick seemed to step up again.
Yeah, I think the big play actually was probably, which is going to be the thing that Kinnick looks back at on the victory, is going to be the interception by Gerald Soriano. Yokota was deep in Yokosuka territory.
Right about where the ball is
right about where the ball is now. Soriano picked it off and was able to run it back almost to midfield. And
that like it punctured the balloon.
Yeah, I think that did. I think it took the air right out of their sails. But nonetheless, the Kinnick defense has been doing it all day long, all game long, and up 8-0. That speaks volumes right there.
You know they're going to pass. Look at this.
Oh, broken up beautifully by Daniel Ayers, and he almost picked that off and went for a touchdown. He could have got that in his grips. He'd have been off to the races. So going to bring up a 2nd and 10 for Yokota.
You could almost see him focusing in right on there. You could see he had excellent position.
So it's going to be a bit of a tough pill for Yokota to swallow here, as they had high hopes on the season. Favored by many to win the Kanto Plain this year. They're going to take their first loss away today. And Kinnick High School, Kanto Plain champions, 97-98. Kanto Plain champions come out with victory, it looks like, in their first game of the season, as we're late in the 4th period of play. Okay, they're going to do nothing but pass here. Anyone that thinks they're going to do anything else is...
Good pressure.
And that's picked up by Soriano. That's his 3rd interception of the game. And that might be a Kinnick High School record, 3 interceptions in one game by a player. Might be a Kinnick High School record. I'm going to have to check with that. But that's his 4th interception of the game, and most people don't get 4 interceptions in a season.
Yeah, but, you know, he better be very thankful to Ariel Zamora because he's the one that made that pass go awry.
Yeah, Ariel Zamora, and also in on there was Rodney Gabriel, who was making the quarterback run for his life. He was.
I could see why.
And, yeah, well, Rodney's a big boy. And Rodney was chased him out of the pocket, and Gerald Soriano, let's face it, was in the right place at the right time because that was cherry picking all the way.
Well, he was in the right place at the right time.
Let's see if Kinnick can put some points on the board before we go away from this game. It's 8-0. In the offset formation is Kinnick. First back through is Engstrand. Engstrand pounds ahead for a gain of a couple of yards to the 11-yard line, and Kinnick is really putting them to the test right now.
Yep, and running the ball, wasting more time.
It's good to see Matt come back in the game, too.
Oh, it is.
He was hurt. It looked like a very serious injury in the first half, but he's a tough kid. He came back out, and he's been involved in some of the plays in the second half. That center, Jack Samar, can't say enough good things about him either. He's done a good job all day long. Good to see somebody that, big and healthy like he is up there protecting Crawley.
That's an extremely important position.
Oh, Soriano.
Oh.
That's a hard tackle. When you get tackled like that, it's dangerous because his legs were kind of caught underneath him. And he just bounces right back up.
And right now, you remember we said about him being Mr. Popular? Well, his popularity even went down further with that last interception.
Yeah, so now he's got 3 picks, and Gerald's kind of a vocal kid, too. I'm sure he's letting the other team know about it as well.
I hope he... Well, that's something you really don't need to do because you don't want to bring any more, adversity.
I think he likes that, though. I think he strives for that a little bit. He's a fun kid to watch, and basketball's one of my favorite things to do is watch him play. Okay, Crawley hands off to Engstrand. Engstrand's going to get a couple of yards there, and he's pushed forward. The pile moves up to about the original line of scrimmage, and Kinnick's going to get a 4th down, and looks like about 9 yards for the first down, roughly. Yokota's going to call a timeout. I think they got an injured player is what it is.
Well, while we have a timeout, I want to mention something again. One place that, again, because of all the new people, there's a lot of new families here. And there's one place that you may not think there's so much there, but the community center offers so many activities for youngsters, for adults. Any type of arts and crafts type thing you could possibly even think of is over there. I mean, if you watch CP7 when we do some of our shows, you're going to see a bonsai tree in there. They have bonsai classes over there. They have ikebana, which is for flower arrangement. They have like math classes over there.
Well, they have the paper Japanese folding thing too. What do you call it?
Origami.
Origami.
Right, and that's especially children love that.
Yeah.
Children really love that.
My son went over there to a pottery class and made it's a pot, basically, is what it is. But, he made me a nice present for Father's Day, and it's one of those things that you can't really figure out what it is, but he was proud of it, so I use it to, put my change and stuff in, my wallet and stuff when I'm getting undressed, so that's what I use it for. But anyway, the people over there, the staff, are so courteous, and they really make the kids feel good about what they're doing. I mean, it's really a popular thing with the children.
They have what is that, tea box type thing?
Yeah,
decorate the tea box type thing?
Yeah,
they come out gorgeous.
Yeah, they are. They're beautiful. I actually got to see one. One of the friends of our family, she went to that thing, and she's now a tea box expert.
They even have
I think she could teach it now.
Tea ceremony thing. I don't know.
You know what they make those out of? Milk cartons, those tea boxes. That's what they make those out of.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
But it's a special type box, though.
Well, the community center, they kind of improvise on a lot of things, but...
No, you got to buy those. They're specially made. I mean, you can get them off base or on base. Some are maybe made like that now, but they're special boxes. They're very traditional type thing.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. Okay, so we're going to get a 4th down at about 9 yards. Kinnick can get a first down at the 4-yard line. They're at about the 13-yard line right now. And the pitch out to Soriano with a lot of room to run.
Look at those moves.
And he's got a beautiful move. Touchdown! Kinnick High School Red Devils put up another 6 points. A beautiful effort by Soriano from the 13-yard line on 4th down. Punches it in the end zone. And obviously now got to be player of the game.
Okay, yeah, now that
3 interceptions and a touchdown for Soriano.
He was hanging in there with it. He was a little step above everybody, but now he just took a big stride.
Unbelievable.
One giant step for Gerald Soriano.
Unbelievable. Player of the game, at least as voted by me, and my vote counts for nothing, but 3 interceptions on the afternoon for him, and now a touchdown, and Soriano can't believe it. He's
he's loving it. But he made the moves. He made that happen.
Absolutely. And now we have an injured Yokota player on the field. I can't see the numbers. It looks like it might be number 86. And that'd be unfortunate for Yokota to go away with an injured player as well as having the defeat come to him. But if that is 86, that's Matt Holbrook, and we hope that he's okay. He's laying there almost motionless on the ground. He's moving his legs there. That's a good sign. Maybe he had the wind knocked out of him.
That's possible. But while we have a moment, let's just go back. I really don't like focusing on injuries, but I like focusing on what Kinnick Red Devils are doing. But I'm going to step even away from that, because let's step back and talk about MWR and what they're doing. There's like the entertainment that's coming up, the facilities that we talked about today, the community center that we talked about. Now, what about the restaurants? I mean, there's restaurants all over the base that cater to. And one thing about
good.
that, well, they're not only good, but as far as whenever we had this like typhoon things and stuff like that, they're very essential for people, especially if you haven't gone out and you hadn't stocked up on certain items.
Right.
They're there
Disaster
as
preparedness.
That's right. It's like disaster preparedness, where they're making things, and the MWR staff is out there making food. So if people need to eat, they can come out and get something to eat there. So, I mean, that's just one other place. Of course, the galleys are there, of course, but the MWR people are also there.
Okay, this looks like a leg injury of some sort there, and being helped off the field, not able to come off under his own power, but we'll try and see if we can't get that number firmed up. That's actually 88, and 88 is DeJuan Washington, and DeJuan Washington, one of their key players, so looks like grabbing... looks like a left knee or left ankle possibly, and hate to speculate, but here goes Kinnick on the two-point conversion attempt. Dominic Crawley under center. Matt Engstrom's the single back, and they're going to roll out, and Dominic's going to look, and he throws the ball.
Does he got it? Did he get it?
2 points, and on that reception is Ponemeyer, Ray Ponemeyer, coming up with the two-point conversion in the corner.
Tree. Great job.
And beyond the tree, I'll try to describe what happened here. Ponemeyer rolled out with Crawley. The play was designed to look like to go to him the whole way. They both moved over to the right-hand side of the field, and in the corner of the end zone, Crawley was able to spot Ponemeyer, who was basically wide open. There was no Yokota player around him, so it was an easy two-point conversion, and that's going to bring the score now to 16-0. In favor of the Kinnick High School Red Devils, and this one's out of reach now for Yokota. There's not a chance that they're going to win, but we're going to see Kinnick kick off. It's late in the game, fourth period, and Kinnick defense, the story of the day here, is they've been able to move pretty much from last season to this season, not being scored on. I mean, they didn't give up anything today, and it's been a valiant effort, in large part due to 3 interceptions by Gerald Soriano. And I'm sure that the coaches and families and faculty and students at Kinnick got to be thrilled by this victory. I know it's been a nicely played game by both teams.
One thing that, the linesmen get very little credit, and it's hard to really pick that out because they don't stand out, but, without them opening things up or blocking or whatever, the rest of the team can't do anything. So, I'm sorry we don't always get to those guys, but they're an integral part of the team, so nice going there, linesman.
Onside kick, and that's picked up by Kinnick, who's going to move the ball forward, and that is an astounding effort there.
That's like insult to injury there.
Well, Yokota brought that on themselves as they were lined up way back from the ball, and they won't do that again the next time they face Kinnick at Yokosuka. That was a beautiful, beautiful play, and the coach for Yokota is furious.
Now he's saying they touched it before.
Yeah, he said they touched the ball before it went 10 yards, and he'd be wrong on that.
Yeah,
they didn't even get close.
It was close. It was close, but
no, because it's actually 15 yards downfield. I mean, it would have had to go past the 45-yard line, which it did.
And there's a timeout on the field.
Yeah. And the coach is just furious, but that's not the official's fault. I mean, it's the coach's fault for lining him up so far from the ball.
Speaking of coaches, again, that was a great coaching move. That quick play down at the goal line, although they weren't successful, was an excellent coaching opportunity.
Yeah, I think probably the Yokota coach is upset more about the fact that it was successful than anything else.
Right, of course he is.
Yeah, it's interesting how well coached Kinnick is. You look at Kinnick; they're physically not as big as Yokota. Okay, they're a little undersized compared to Yokota, but what it really comes down to is desire by the players, number one, and coaching.
Yes.
Like you said, they're really well coached. For the first game of the year, relatively few penalties, mostly the type of penalties you'd expect to see in the first game, offensive line moving type of penalties. But Kinnick, no personal fouls of any kind. No offensive, offsides on defense, and that all comes from coaching, and it all comes from, preparation, and that's what Kinnick is really good at. I mean, it's no accident that they've been able to go 3 years in a row as Kanto playing champions. The reason for that is because they're well coached, and
I think so.
They have a change of personnel. Unlike Yokota, most of these families rotate very frequently, and so they see a change of team almost every year, and you got to give credit to the coaches for putting together a quality team year after year.
That's for sure.
First down and 10 for Yokosuka and Kinnick High School Red Devils. Up the middle, right off the get-go, is number 21, Engstrand. It's good to see him back in there carrying the ball. And Matt picks up about 3 yards, and I think we're just going to see him try and grind it out here.
That's what they're going to do.
And Yokota's hating it now because Matt Steins reports into the ball game, and out goes Engstrand, who doesn't want to come out.
I know he doesn't.
That's going to bring in Steins, and Steins had a couple of big runs earlier in the game and was really instrumental in their first half effort as he scored their first touchdown of the game. Okay, Dominic Crawley takes the snap from center in the I formation. That's going to be a false start there. And I made a mistake. Actually, it wasn't Steins that scored the touchdown. He scored a touchdown, but they called him back. But actually, the first touchdown was scored by Ray Pondemeyer today.
I want to put in another an important factor for MWR, and this is something that comes after customer service, but it is really important, is that single service member things. That's really stressed by MWR's single service member activities. And we constantly go over that at all our meetings because our boss reminds us that's why we're here. I mean, that's why we're here, is to serve those men and women that are in the uniform.
Yes, the single person, single sailor program has got a lot of things. And a handoff here, first of all, to the second back through. That looked like number 44 on the carry. And that'd be Rextini Andrade, I believe. But we're going to see as they unpile here.
Well, that's why everybody's here.
Yeah. Oh, so it wasn't Rextini Andrade. It had to be probably Steins then, or Soriano. Okay, so we're late in the game here. Yokota a little dispirited there. You can kind of tell that their heart's not in it anymore. Third down and about 10 yards for the Kinnick Red Devils from the 44-yard line of the Yokota Panthers. Dominic Crawley is the quarterback. In the I formation is Steins and Soriano. Crawley takes the snap to the first back through, Matt Steins. Nice. That was picked up right away by the Yokota Panthers, who dropped him for about a 4-yard loss. That's going to bring up a fourth down, and we're going to see Kinnick kick the ball away here. I have no doubt that they're going to give the ball back.
Hey, while I have this opportunity, Rob, I just want to encourage all the single service members, because they don't have a home to go to. Although Fleet Rec is not home, please come over and let us try to serve you. I mean, there's single service member activities over there. There's a fleet lounge over there. There's a place to eat over there, place to work out over there. Whatever your needs are, there's a lot that can be catered to over there.
And that's the ball game right there.
Is it?
Yep, it looks like it.
Okay, well, that was my plea to the single service member. Rob, we're going to wrap things up here.
Okay, so it's a 16-zip Kinnick High School Red Devils victory. First football game of the season. The Kinnick Red Devils come out victorious at Yokota. The Yokota Panthers unable to score on Kinnick today. And the player of the day had to be Gerald Soriano. 3 interceptions and a touchdown, but Kinnick able to come up with points when they needed. A very timely safety and dictated the tempo on defense today. So we're glad to see the victory go to Kinnick, and we'll look to see the viewers again when we play our next game at Yokota under the lights.
Yeah, that'd be fine. No, we're going to be playing it at home, though, right?
Yeah, our next game is at home, I believe. So, anyway, until then, this is Rob Riegel with C-Phase 7 and Bob Long with C-Phase 7, a division of your MWR, saying so long for now.
Good night, folks.
You know?
Yeah.
Y'all look at the camera, man.
Look at all these winners over here, man.
Wow, it's the cameraman. Hey, don't look at me and say JD. Oh.
Yeah. Let's just... Kago. I know. Look.
Calhoun.
I'm looking for JB. JB.
Yeah.
That's Gerald. That's Gerald. There's the interceptions over there.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad.
That's Deion Sanders right there, right?
Look at
Hey, Kinnick! Ah, yeah, Kinnick! Like this.
Yeah, Rodney.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, the boy.
What about these guys down here? Hey, guys.
Popeyes.
Oh, you guys got Popeyes here?
Oh, bad.
Stop today, man.
Tired.
And leave the front open for the coaches.
You guys number one, yay! Table.
Get the cameraman. Yeah.
Oh, the cameraman behind the camera now.
Yeah.
Say hi, where's the camera? Bye.
Yokota cheerleader? Oh my god.
We gotta get a Yokota cheerleader.
Nope. Actually, I used to live in Yokota like way back in the day.
Why don't you pose for the camera?
No, I'm not like with you guys. Still can't.
See you in the back.